Everyone, it's Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is a whoever needs to hear this message. I'm going to begin with Aries, work my way around the zodiac wheel here, ending at Pisces. Timestamps, as always, will be in the description box. I've set the intention of this reading to be for your sun, moon, rising, as well as your Venus placements, so you're welcome to look at any or all of them. If you're not sure what your placements are, also in the description box is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. Take a look at that site, and then just come back here and click on the timestamp for the respective placement or placements that you wish to view. Keep in mind, my friend, this is a collective general reading. It is not individualized nor personalized to you. Therefore, messages may come through today that don't fully resonate. And if that happens, don't get upset. It just means that one message is meant for someone else of your sign or your sign's placement. So take what fits, how it fits, leave what doesn't. Remember to check out your other placements. And of course, if you would like a one-on-one live Zoom tarot reading with yours truly, please visit my website, thetimelinetarot.com, for more information. With all of that said, let's begin. Hello, Aries. Let's see what your message is today from Source. What would you like Aries to know at this time? For Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. What would you like them to know at this time? One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have New Life, card number 4. And bottom of the deck, we have Release, card number 42. So I've tapped into a group of Aries where Source wants you to know it's time for you to release the old life, close the old chapter, and step into the new life. The time is now. We have a new moon in Virgo on August 22nd, and then another new moon in Virgo, which is actually an eclipse, on September 21st. So I kind of feel like this is like a 4-week time period here for you, Aries, where you need to, high-vibing Virgo is all about strategies and systems and creating plans and getting organized. And I feel like this is like your 4-week window here to get organized, create a strategy. You won't be surprised if we see the 7 of Swords card pop up here in your reading. That was the image that I just received. And that is really all about strategizing and creating a plan. And I feel like that's what you need to do. So by the end of September, you're ready to, or at least well on your way to closing out a chapter. And I feel like it's it's the old chapter, releasing the old chapter here. Tell me more about this here for Aries. What do they need to know? One more shuffle here. Thank you. First card out, we have the 7 of Wands, the Page of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the King of Wands. Wow. Bottom of the deck, we have 10 of Swords. There's that ending. High Priestess and the Knight of Cups. You then have the Fool. There's literally your new life, your new beginning, new chapter. I feel like you have been resisting this. So just to let you know, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Fool, we have the 9 of Cups, and we have the Lovers. So it's your choice, and it has been your choice here to hold back from this. Now, whatever this is, you're seeing it as your 9 of Cups. So I could be speaking to an Aries, and I'll just give you some examples. I would be really happy if I left this industry and worked in this industry. I would be really happy if I left this job and found this other type of job. I would be happy if I relocated. There's definitely something here where you have identified a person, place, or thing as being part of your 9 of Cups. You feel like this would be very emotionally fulfilling for you to move towards the new, but you have been reluctant to move towards the new. There's a reluctancy here to close out a past life, a past chapter. And I feel like you've been keeping it to yourself there in the High Priestess energy. So maybe not a lot of people know about this. So maybe the job you want to leave, doesn't know that you want to leave it. Maybe the apartment you're renting, right? The owner doesn't know, right? Your landlord doesn't know that you want to maybe cancel the lease early. I could be speaking to an Aries where you're in a relationship and your partner doesn't know that you want to leave the relationship. So I want to know about this Page of Swords here. Tell me about the Page of Swords. We have the Magician, followed by Judgment, and followed by the Lovers. So I feel like you are getting clarity here. Bottom of the deck is the King of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the 6 of Cups. So I feel like you're making a decision here over the course of the next 4 weeks. You're going inward. You're listening to your inner calling here. You're listening to your inner voice, your intuition. And it looks like you are making a decision here to move towards whatever this manifestation has been. So this here appears to be internal dialogue between you and your higher self, really, to make a decision that is best for you. So if you've been sitting on the fence, I feel like you're moving in one direction or another. It looks like you're making the judgment call to move towards wish fulfillment. That appears to be what's happening. So I've tapped into a group of you where maybe you've been reluctant to move towards a new life, but now you'll actively be creating a plan in order to move towards that new life. We have the Queen of Wands here and the King of Wands. So this is you, whether you're, masculine or feminine, feeling very balanced, I feel, at this time in this decision. Once you get that like aha epiphany, kind of moment, you're having this internal dialogue, then I feel like you're kind of firing here on both cylinders to move forward, to close out the old and move towards the new. Tell me more about this. Yeah, we have the Knight of Wands. So we have all three now in the suit, the Knight, the Queen, and the King. So taking the inspired action, Nine of Swords and Two of Wands to push forward. Three of Swords, Five of Cups, and Wheel of Fortune. This is like time to say goodbye to the old life. And this, I feel, is like internal to you. There is some sadness here that you're leaving the person, place, or thing, but the decision appears to be made here. I can't sit here at the Y point anymore. I don't want to be inconsistent on this. I don't want to teeter-totter on this decision. I want to make it once and for all. I'm getting a little bit of a frustrated energy here. Like, I just want to know what I'm doing with my life. And so I believe for most of you, and please don't ever let tarot dictate what you're doing, but it looks like this restless feeling of like, you know what, it's time to just at least make the plan and move forward. Yeah, that's the feeling I'm getting here. So you might not all be making the move like in the course of the next 4 weeks, but there definitely is the aha epiphany moment of I need to move forward now. Tell me about this Ten of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Knight of Cups. One more shuffle here. Thank you. I feel like the Knight of Cups represents the new opportunity, whether that's job, person, place, thing, living situation. Clarified by, there we go again, Nine of Cups. So I was right. So this is moving now towards wish fulfillment, World card. In order to do that, you need to close out the World card and Three of Cups. There's a feeling here of like, I finally made the decision, whatever it is. And again, I feel like for most of you, it's closing out the old, releasing the old. And again, it's just a decision to do that. But there's such a like, well, at least now I know the direction my life is going in. Eight of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and Nine of Wands. Yeah, and then we've got Justice here. So you're making a decision here that you've really wrestled over for quite some time, is the feeling that I get here. Right behind the Release card, we have Karmic Path. So I feel like you are now leaving a karmic cycle, a karmic connection, karmic experiences. It's like with that World card, you've learned and gleaned all of the lessons that you had to in that old life, and you're now ready for your new life, at least ready to create a plan here for it. So let's get 3 cards of advice. Remember to check your other placements. There might be some extra information there, and especially check them out if this message didn't resonate with you at all. 3 cards of advice here for Aries. One more shuffle here. Thank you. You have the King of Swords, you have the Wheel of Fortune, and you have the Five of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have Five of Wands, Strength, and I knew we were going to see that card, the Seven of Swords. So yeah, it's time for you to push through, push forward, and to create a strategy. No more holding yourself back, no more internal dialogue. The King of Swords sees things very clearly. It's the energy of an individual who is holding the sword of truth, the Ace of Swords. They know what they have to do. Does the new hello come with a goodbye or some remorse and regret that you're moving on from that person, place, or thing? It does. But I kind of feel like that's also ushering in this Three of Cups of like, I know that I'll be happier when I get there, blank, in that relationship, in that location, you know, again, whatever this is for you. It comes with some remorse and regret that it's time to say goodbye, but you're still well on your way now to creating a plan to fully exit that. And when each of you do that, you know, will be entirely up to you. But your advice here is to see things very clearly. You can have sadness in moving forward. And every place that I've ever lived, for good or for bad, when it came time to pack up that last box and head out, yeah, there's a look back at that. You know that chapter of your life is over, right? The room is vacant. The place is vacant. You're holding the last box or the last bag in your hand. And you know when you shut those lights and close the door, you're never going to return to that space again. So yeah, there is this kind of melancholy kind of feeling, but then there's also this excitement as you're walking out to transportation or vehicle or whatever, and really excited to get into the new. So yeah, does leaving this behind come with a little bit of sadness? It does, but I feel like the joy of moving into the new will kind of override that for you. At least the excitement with starting to plan it and getting ready for the new here seems to like reinvigorate you. And I think, again, it's that feeling of like, well, at least now I know the direction I'm going in, and I have a concrete plan on how to get there. So congratulations. I've tapped into a group of you where you are on the precipice of a new life. And with that comes releasing the old, but a lot of excitement to step into the new. So that's what I have for you, Aries, at this time. If you like that message, it resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace. Hello, Taurus. Let's take a look at any messages that Source has for you at this time. What would you like Taurus to know at this time? Messages for Taurus. for Taurus sun, moon, rising, as well as Venus. Remember to check out your other placements, Taurus, in case this message does not resonate for you. But even if it does, you might get some extra information from those readings as well. What does Taurus need to know at this time? We're going to do one more shuffle here for you, Taurus. Thank you. We have Shadow, card number 43. Bottom of the deck, we have Boundaries. Card number 26. Right behind Boundaries, we have Grounded. Okay. Tell me more about Shadow. So there's something here, Taurus, that you need to look at. Something within you. And that's never a comfortable feeling when we have to do that. But it is necessary for those of us who choose to do that, right? That's a necessity when it comes to growing, not just here in the 5D world, but or not just growing here in the 3D world, but growing spiritually as well in the 5D. So tell me more about Shadow here for Taurus. What do they need to know about Shadow? One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have Temperance, followed by the Six of Wands, the Empress card, which is your energy, whether you're masculine or feminine, and the Magician. Bottom of the deck, we have Chariot to the Four of Cups to the King of Swords. Before I speak, I want to clarify a couple of these cards, but I get the feeling here that you're moving forward. You're moving forward either with a way of life or with a connection in your life, even though you don't feel emotionally happy with it. But you have this drive or this determination, maybe even a little bit of stubbornness of like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be victorious. I'm moving forward in this direction. But you're not happy with it. You're not happy with the job or the relationship or the friendship, like whatever this is. I want to clarify this more for you, but there's a shadow aspect here. And it's not just, oh, that's Taurus being stubborn. No, it's Taurus not wanting to see why they're holding on to something that doesn't make them emotionally happy or just even emotionally content. So that's the shadow part. It's not so much about who or what is making you feel this way. It's why are you holding on to something and being determined to be victorious with something that at the end of the day makes you feel rejected or neglected or not authentic, right? Four of Cups to the King of Swords could be someone who's not living authentically. And this could even be like a self-worth issue. So let's see where we go with the message. Tell me about the Six of Wands. This could be something about ego, pride. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Six of Wands is clarified by Knight of Wands, Six of Swords, and Justice. Bottom of the deck, Three of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Four of Swords. So I've tapped into a group of you, and don't be offended if this isn't your message. Just check another placement or hear the message out and just take the parts of it that align with you. There's something here of, I need to move forward. I need to push forward. I need to be victorious with blank. But you have a desire to move in another direction. You're not listening to your inner calling here. And it's like in the stillness, you know the right thing to do. Four of Swords to Judgment. Judgment is listening to your inner calling. Four of Swords is a moment of rest. So when you're resting or when you're by yourself or, you know, when you have some downtime, when you're on vacation, like whatever that Four of Swords is for you, when you're meditating, there's a feeling here of, I know the right thing to do, but there's a resistance to do it. There's a resistance to go in another direction. We have the Knight of Wands looking in one direction and the Six of Swords looking in another. So it's like I've tapped into a group of you where you would rather be somewhere else or living a different way or on a different life path. But then there's something egoic. I really don't want to lean towards the ego. I don't want to lean towards the ego part here, but there's something of like, nope, I have to do this. I have to move forward. Let's see what this is all about. The Empress. Tell me why the Empress is here. Why is the Empress here? One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Empress is clarified by the Fool, the Ace of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. So, and bottom of the deck, the Moon card. So I've tapped into a group of you where like, you know the right thing to do is to move in another direction, have a new beginning. You know that's where you would be more grounded. You know it would probably be the biggest act of self-love that you would ever do. But there's fears and doubts and insecurities here about becoming the Nine of Pentacles, single, free, and independent of whomever or whatever this is. So, and it's just an example that I'm being given that I want to share with you. I could be speaking to a Taurus where you live at home with your parents and your family. And there's a desire within you of, I really want to go out on my own. I want to get my own place. I want to experience life my own way. I kind of want to, grow up and mature and really get out there and see the world. But then there's like this fear. There's these doubts and insecurities like, well, what if I can't make it? What happens if my family doesn't accept this decision? What if I'm ostracized? What if I'm but there's a shadow aspect there of like, well, why do you feel that way? Why do you feel you're not good enough? Why do you feel you don't deserve to enjoy life or live life the way you want? Why do you feel like you can't make it? See, that would be the shadow part. It's not so much that you think that your parents or your family might be upset that you want to move. Like I could be speaking to a Taurus, let's say, I don't know, you're already enrolled and ready to go to college, but there's a party like, I really don't want to go to college. I want to go to trade school, or I want to take a year off and travel the world. But it's like, well, what will my parents say, or what will my family say? So there's something like that here. So that's why I was saying, I don't know how much of it is ego and pride. This seems more like I don't want to disappoint other people. I don't want to be true to who I am because it may disappoint other people. So I have to push through. I'm not happy with this life path. I'm not happy with it at all. In fact, I'm allowing other people to dictate my life path. I have no boundaries. So there's something here about needing to look victorious, needing to look like I'm doing the right thing, but it's doing the right thing according to other people's standards, not your own. So there's a fear here of like stepping out and being who you really want to be, or moving in the direction you want to go in. Right? I could be speaking to a Taurus like, you work for the family business and you're like, I really don't want to do this for the rest of my life, but I can't disappoint my family. There's a feeling like that here. I remember years ago when my ex-husband and I were together, and we were partners in this medical company, this x-ray company. And it started off, as the husband and wife. And then as they aged out, my husband had become a partner and their sons had taken over the company as well. And one of the sons really did not see that for the rest of his life, but it was kind of like, well, I have to do it. I have to do it because that's what my parents did. And so there was this feeling of like, well, I don't want to disappoint the family. And they had a sister that could have went in that direction also, but she was a little bit more rebellious. And she was like, no, I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. Would it be nice to support the family business? Absolutely. And from time to time she would. But she went out and created her own path. And they embraced her anyway. She set up some hard boundaries and just said, no, this is not for me. I need to move in another direction. So I feel like I'm kind of speaking to a group of Taurians where you're kind of like the brothers in this situation, like the sons, like, well, I just have to do it because that's what, that's what's expected of me. But you can be brave and you can be bold and you can look at that shadow and say, why am I doing this? Why am I pleasing other people and not pleasing myself by living authentically to me, to who I am, to who I want to be? So the Magician card is here. Why is the Magician card here for Taurus? One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Magician card is clarified by the Devil, the Page of Pentacles, and the Lovers. So you battle yourself. There's that Five of Swords at the bottom of the deck, World card. You battle yourself, Ten of Swords. Judgment again. Tower. Jesus, Taurus. This is a real battle here on the conscious and subconscious level of, I really want to close this out. I know that this is not good for me. With that Devil card, I know accepting this offer, staying in this, staying at this job, staying in this relationship, staying in this situation, staying on this life path keeps me small. Page of Pentacles. You're screaming on the inside to step into your Empress power, which is Taurus energy, right in the major arcana portion of tarot. So there's that part of you inside of you're meant for more. You're meant to be on a different life path, at a different job, in a different type of relationship, or maybe even single. But it's like, I have to make the choice to keep myself small, and everything that I want to be and want to do, I just kind of leave it up in my dreams. I don't actually act upon it. And you could, because as the Magician, you have all four aces. You can go on any path you want, any direction you want, but you're like, no, I have to stay right here. I have to keep myself small. I have to keep working for the man. I don't really have what it takes to create my own business, but you do. You do. You're the King or Queen of Pentacles here to the Empress. You do. You're just one decision away from an entirely different life. And you know that. So if the message is resonating for you, you know that. You know that staying here is not authentic to you. But why are you staying here? That's the shadow part. So, and it'll be different for all of you, but let's see if we can get something for the majority. What is the shadow part here for Taurus? Why are they doing this? Staying in a situation, environment, or connection, or even on a particular life path. And it's like, I can't go. I can't disappoint people. Where does that come from? What is that shadow? One more shuffle here. Thank you. 10 of Cups, the Moon, and the Queen of Swords. This is like, what would the family say? 7 of Wands, 4 of Swords, 5 of Swords. I'm going to hold myself back from closing this out. I'm speaking to a Taurus where it's like, again, just an example I'm being given. I really want to get a divorce. I'm not emotionally content here. But oof, I can't do that. It goes against my upbringing. I can't World card, 10 of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, move in another direction. What would my family say? I would be the first in my family to get a divorce. Or what would the neighbor say? Or there's like all these fears, doubts, and insecurities here. You know the right thing to do. And the Queen of Swords energy, you know it like the back of your hand. But what would people say? What would my family say if I no longer wanted to be at the family business? What would my family say if I tell them I want to move halfway across the world? What would my family say if I don't know, come out of the closet and tell them, you know, who or what I really am, or what I desire, or what type of partner I desire? What would my family say if I get a divorce? What would my family say if I want to marry someone different than, you know, different than our culture or our religion? Or what would they say? What difference does it make? What difference does it make? If are you willing to spend the rest of your life in the 4 of Cups because what the neighbors will say? Because I'll tell you something, Taurus, and now I'm just speaking to you like as your friend, a tarot reader / your friend. I have been around so many people at the end of their life. And, you know, sometimes within minutes of them passing away, sometimes I was right there beside them holding their hand. And I can tell you that at no moment in those final moments of their life, for all the people that I sat next to, did any of them say, and you know, remember 30 years ago when so-and-so got a divorce? Yeah, I didn't see that coming. You know, when so-and-so came out and said they were gay, oof, can't believe that happened. Oh, you know, when so-and-so left. That is not what people are thinking about. This decision that you make that you think is so huge for you, at the end of the day, life moves on for everyone. And that's not what they're remembering in their final moments. They're remembering their own lives. They're reflecting on their own successes. They're reflecting on their own regrets. They're not worried about what you did or what you didn't do. And no one is sitting there on their deathbed saying, thank God, Taurus rejected their own happiness for me. I don't know even many people who do that. And I've been around a narcissist or two that has passed away, and none of them sat there on their deathbed saying, I'm so glad that person messed up their whole life to do what I wanted them to do. So I just kind of want to say to you, don't make this decision, whatever this is, whatever you've been concealing and you've been hesitant to move in a particular direction. Don't do it based on how happy or not happy other people would be with it. Do it based on how happy you would be if you went in that direction. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Because when you inevitably get to that deathbed, as we all do, this might be one of the biggest regrets of your life. And while I believe in multiple lives, why wait till the next one to be happy when you can be happy right now? This is being stuck in a cycle based on what people will say. I think you need to be concerned about what will you say when you get to the end of your life. Did you live authentically, or did you live for others? Others who at the end of their lives aren't going to give two shits about the sacrifices you made. It's of no consequence to them in their final moments. But it will be a heavy regret of yours during yours. I wouldn't want to die with that regret. But that's just me. Let's get you 3 cards of advice here for Taurus. You need some healthy boundaries here, Taurus, so you can learn to live for yourself. And that's the shadow aspect here that Source wants you to look at. 3 cards of advice here for my Taurians. One more shuffle here. Thank you. 9 of Swords, Queen of Wands, and the Star, Death card. Look at that shadow. Look at it right in the eyes and say, no more. I'm taking the inspired action to heal this aspect within myself so I can move towards wish fulfillment. That's your advice. Your advice is to get out of your head and to move forward in your life. Death card, 9 of Cups, and Strength. To move towards wish fulfillment. Whatever or whoever or wherever that is that makes you happy. High Priestess, Knight of Pentacles, and the Hangman. Kind of see life from a new perspective. Your time is valuable. How you spend it is equally as valuable. Spend it being happy, Taurus. Spend it in your 9 of Cups. And who cares who or what doesn't like it? That's what I have for you, Taurus. Very powerful message there for my bull gang. Time for you to chase your happiness. And those who love you will love you for it. And those who don't weren't meant to be in your life anyway. So you're not losing much there. But whatever you do, Taurus, don't live your life holding on to a shadow and dying with regrets. And take that from someone who made some pretty hard decisions in their life. And I am all the more happier for it. And you will be too. That's what I have for you, my love, at this time. If you like that message, it resonated with you, please be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out your other placements, Taurus. And until I read for you again, my dear, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace. Hello, Gemini Twin Gang. Let's see what message Source has for you, for us at this time. Make sure you check out your other placements, Gemini, so you could get a more comprehensive view of these messages. And especially check out your other placements if this one does not resonate with you at all. Tapping into the Gemini Collective now for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. What would you like Gemini to know at this time? What would you like Gemini to know at this time? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Gemini, we have Transmute. And bottom of the deck, we have New Moon. Well, your cousin sign there of Virgo has a new moon in Virgo on August 22nd. We have Transmute here, card number 44 and card number 45. So this is back to back. What's right behind New Moon? Release. Okay. Oh, and right behind that, we have Time. It's time to release something here in order to transmute your life. It's like scorpionic energy there. So tell me more about this here for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. You're holding on to something that's no longer good for you. This could be a habit. This could be a pattern, a thought process, a situation, environment, or a connection. I kind of feel like you're receiving this aha epiphany moment around August 22nd of like, I have to stop this. Like, and it could be anything. It'd be like, I've got to give up sweets, or, you know, I need to start walking again, or I need to quit smoking, or this job is, you know, toxic. I need to find another one. And same thing if it's like a living situation or environment, or maybe even a connection in your life. Tell me more about Transmute here for Gemini. One more shuffle. Thank you. First card out, the Hermit, which is Virgo energy. So lots of soul searching here needed. Magician, there you are. And that also is more Virgo energy. You share that card with Virgo. We have the Knight of Swords and we have the Knight of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have Queen of Swords. There you are, whether you're masculine or feminine. We have the Six of Cups and we have the Hierophant. There's something here about staying true to who you are, staying true to your mission, staying true to your purpose, staying authentic to yourself. Some lesson here. Some lesson that you had to learn or need to learn. Let's clarify that Hermit. Why is the Hermit here for Gemini? One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Lovers, followed by the Five of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Cups, Justice, Knight of Pentacles. This is like a self-worth issue. Tell me about the Magician. This card came tumbling out. Page of Swords. Tell me more about the Magician energy here. This is like lack mentality. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Yeah, Page of Swords, Six of Pentacles, Five of Swords. This is rooted in childhood. I think this message came up for the Gemini collective earlier in the year. Maybe it was February, March, something like that. This is resurfacing. So there's a group of us, of Geminians, who maybe you thought that you figured this out or you conquered this. Might have been April or May even, but you haven't. You may have identified it back then, but you didn't actually change it. You didn't transmute it. You didn't really do anything with it. You kind of went, oh yeah, yep, when I was 5 years old, this happened. When I was 11 years old, this happened. And okay, well, I figured out where it came from, but you didn't heal it. You didn't heal it. And so I've tapped into a group of you where you don't know your self-worth. You might present yourself, to the world like the magician, but in reality, you're a page of swords. And I don't mean that, you're a page and you're, a novice at life, but you look at yourself like you're a page of swords. You don't value yourself. You don't see yourself as a queen or king of swords. You see yourself as the page. So there's something here about self-value. And because you don't value yourself, you accept situations, environments, connections, even jobs that don't pay you what you're worth, or don't give you what you're worth, or don't give you equal reciprocity. But that's all starting to change. Knight of Swords. Tell me about the Knight of Swords. I feel like you're having an internal conversation here with yourself about your self-worth. Tell me more about this Knight of Swords. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Queen of Cups. Page of Pentacles. Temperance. A lot of page energy here. Two of Cups. Seven of Wands. More page energy here. Page of Cups. I feel like the Gemini collective is going back. This is very heavy on feminine energy here. It could be a masculine. So, remember, it's a collective general reading. This has something to do with parents. This is rooted in childhood. So if the message doesn't resonate, I'm sorry. Just, check another placement. But I've tapped into a group of you where, and I think if you are honest with yourself and you have this internal dialogue, there was something here rooted in you that you were not good enough or not deserving enough, or you were different. I'm getting a lot of messages here, so only take the ones that resonate. Or you were only good enough if you got blank. You were only good enough if you got all A's in school. You were only good enough if you used the right fork at the dinner table. You were only good enough, fill in the blank. And it's become embedded in you to the point of now you sacrifice yourself in various situations, environments, or connections, always accepting less than what you deserve from your friendships, from your partnerships. Like I said, at work, it's even like accepting a job that would pay you less than your qualifications would, call for. You're like, well, that's all I can get. But that's not all you can get. You're getting this aha epiphany moment. You're having internal dialogue here. Tell me about the Knight of Cups. I think you're going to see this you're not just going to see it. I think you're going to heal this once and for all. I think during the next 4 weeks, because we have a new moon in Virgo on August 22nd, and then another new moon in Virgo, it's back to back, on September 21st, and that one is an eclipse. I feel like I've tapped into a group of you where over the course of the next 4 weeks, you're not just recognizing this wound, you are eclipsing it out of your life. Knight of Cups, clarified by Queen of Pentacles. There you go, knowing your worth. Three of Cups is like a cause for celebration. Strength. It's going to take a lot of strength to do this, because I don't think you ever looked at yourself maybe the way the world sees you, or even people around you really see you. I think I've tapped into a group of you where when someone tells you you're handsome or you're beautiful, you don't believe it. Or someone compliments you on a skill, I don't think you believe. I think you think people just do it to stroke your ego or get something out of you. And that's not the case at all. So you have at least one other person in your life who sees you truly for who and what you are. And it's almost like you don't believe them at times. You think they're saying it for, they have ulterior motives, or they're just trying to get something out of you. They're not. You have at least one person here who constantly tells you how they see you. And how they see you is because that's who you are. Three of Wands, the Sun, and the Ten of Pentacles. That's who you are. I kind of feel like you have been waiting for you to arrive. I don't know why I just heard that. So it's time for the Gemini collective to transmute this wound within them, that they aren't good enough, or they're not beautiful, or they're not handsome, or they're not capable of making X amount of dollars, or, again, whatever this wound here is. Boy, was it embedded in childhood. Predominantly for the majority of you by a feminine figure. Some kind of guardian. Could have been a teacher, could have been your mom, could have been an aunt, could have been grandma. You weren't good enough or valuable unless you did blank. Unless you did blank. Unless you worked at the family business, unless you were the breadwinner, unless you got all A's, unless you went to school, you know what I mean? Unless you worked for the family business. It's like there was a figure here in your life that had high standards for you and only rewarded you when they felt that you met those standards. And yet every time you met the standard, they knocked you back down, or they made another milepost that you would have to get to. This is very much like, this is very much giving me the energy of like, okay, so, and it's just an example I'm being given. Mommy really loves you if you get straight A's in this quarter, and then you get straight A's in that school quarter, and then it's kind of like, mommy doesn't love you the next day. And it's like, but you just said you would love me if I got straight A's. It's like, well, you did, but that was yesterday. What about this quarter? It's like you were constantly given a goal that you constantly had to reach. So you're continually chasing love instead of realizing that you need to just accept it. You need to stand still and let it come to you. You don't have to chase it. Someone made you feel like you weren't good enough. Good enough for love, good enough for money, good enough for success. Okay. Queen of Swords, Six of Cups, and the Hierophant. Boy, are you seeing this, not only where it came from, you're seeing who did this to you. Some of you are even figuring out why they did it to you. I want to know why. Why did this person do this to Gemini? Why did this person do this to Gemini? One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Sun, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands. This is definitely giving me like family, parent kind of vibes here. Three of Wands, Seven of Wands, Page of Cups. Five of Wands. All right, this is going to be super specific messages here. So just for some of you, you had a parent or parents. Again, I don't know who this person is to. I feel like it was whoever primarily raised you. And I have different groups of you. So again, claim the messages, you know, how they align with your life's journey here. But you had a parent here who, as cute as it sounds that you were their sole source of happiness, that's actually very toxic. You know, your mommy's whole world. I cringe when I hear parents say that, because mommy needs a world that doesn't just include the little one. That's a big thing to put on the shoulders. That's a huge weight to put on the shoulders of a little child, that they are completely responsible for all of your happiness. And so they have to live their life according to your plan, or they constantly have to meet these milestones or markers that you put in place, and they're not good enough unless they meet them or exceed them. So for some of you, there's something here that your parent or parents put all of their happiness on your shoulders. And so whenever they had a bad day, it was your fault. When things didn't work out, it was your fault. That's a tremendous burden to put on the shoulders of a child. For others of you, you had a parent that constantly competed with you. Constantly competed with you, either in looks or in money or within your friend group even. I'm hearing even within your friend group, you had a parent that would like try to be friends with your friends, date your girlfriends, date your boyfriends kind of thing. This is getting a little weird and a little deep, but take the messages how they resonate to you. For some of you, you had a parent put all their happiness on your shoulders. It was your responsibility to do right by them. It was your responsibility to take care of them. It was their happiness was your responsibility. This is almost giving me the vibes of like, I put you on this earth, you owe me. That is so ill. That is so ill to do to a child. That's terrible. Some of you are really, really seeing it, where maybe in the past you were like, yeah, I came from mom. Yeah, I came from dad. But now you're really seeing it. And you're not just seeing it, you're seeing how wrong it was. And you're seeing how that molded and shaped you into being an individual who accepted less, or who put other people's happiness above their own, or who just doesn't feel that they're worth a nickel. So whatever this wound is for you, you're seeing it. You're seeing where it came from. You're seeing why this person did this to you, and you're seeing how it negatively impacted your life, either prevented you from chasing your dreams, becoming who you're truly meant to be, you know, marrying the person you wanted to marry, or not marry the person you didn't want to marry. There's just a feeling here of like, and even your self-value, self-worth, you're seeing it all over the course of the next 4 weeks, and you will eclipse that feeling out of your life. Some of you may eclipse this person if they're still around. But I'm feeling more like reconciling that wound, really, really kind of uprooting it and transmuting it. Okay, where are you headed, Gemini? This went deep. Some of these messages are pretty deep here. Let's get 3 cards here. Where are you headed now? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Where are you headed? Ace of Swords. Clarity, wisdom, knowing the truth, and seeing your value. Ace of Swords. Page of Wands. Looking back into the past. Notice in this deck, the page doesn't look forward. The page is looking back. This is you looking back all the way back to childhood. What they did, what they said. 2 of Pentacles. And how that affected your worth. And how you always had to make decisions that were in their best interest. And even if they're no longer in your life, you continue to live by that model. 6 of Swords, moving away from that. 4 of Swords, healing that wound. Star card, healing that wound. Queen of Wands, coming into your own. That's huge. Talk about transmuting pain into power. You're going from a Page of Swords to a Queen or King of Swords. Looking back, a life in review, seeing where it came from, who did it, why they did it, how unfair that was, how it affected your life, and how from this moment forward, it will no longer affect your life. That is what I have for you, Gemini. You are rejecting this mindset that was embedded or ingrained in you. For those of you who do this, because this is hard work. I've been there. This is hard work. But this is literally, this isn't just getting some weed killer and spraying a few weeds. This is getting your hands dirty, going within and really pulling that root out so it never grows back again. Whole new Gemini collective, at least for the group of you that I've tapped into, you are stepping into Gemini 2.0, 3.0, whatever it is, it's a whole new version of you. So watch out, world. That is what I have for you, Gemini. That was a very interesting reading, but that is what I have for you. You are transmuting some old embedded way of thinking and about yourself and showing up in the world and really becoming who you're truly meant to be. And I think loving yourself probably for the really, really like the first time ever, like really loving yourself and seeing your worth and value. So congratulations. That's what I have for you, Gemini. If you like that message, it resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. And until I read for you again, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace. Whew, that was a tough one. Hello, Cancer. Let's take a look at what message Spirit wants you to hear at this time. Message for the Cancer Collective now. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. What would you like them to hear at this time? Remember to check your other placements so you can get a more comprehensive message, and especially check out the placements if this one is not resonating with you at all. Message for the Cancerian Collective at this time. Let's get one more shuffle here. Thank you. What do we have for you, my dear Stormy? Card number 21. Bottom of the deck, transformation. Right behind transformation, we have growth. Tell me about Stormy here. For the Cancer Collective, we have card number 21 and card number 19 here. What does Cancer need to know about Stormy? It's like an emotional storm. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Cups. This is an emotional storm. Tell me more about this here for Cancer. First card out, my dear, 10 of Swords. Emotional storm. King of Swords, the Magician, and the 2 of Pentacles. I don't think that's going to work. Stick with me here. 7 of Wands, Queen of Swords, 2 of Cups. 8 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, Knight of Swords. Some of you came out of something really heavy. You had a job end, you had a connection with a friend, a family member, maybe even a lover, come to an end. This is a hard ending. This is the hardest ending in tarot. And I don't know why that ending happened. You were fired, someone lied to you, someone betrayed you, someone cheated on you. And you're just kind of like, yep, I see it for what it is. And I'm going to move on to the next thing. I'm going to step into the role of the Magician, which is a nice energy. And I'm just going to start manifesting the new life. But you're not looking at this. There's a storm. There's an emotional storm within you. You kind of like suppressed it. And you're like, well, I'm just going to move forward now. I'm going to find the next job, the next connection, the next soulmate. But something here is telling you before you cross that bridge, so to speak, you need to look back. So notice on the 7 of Wands, person's looking back. Source is trying to tell you, we got to look back and deal with this. I know you want to look forward, and find the new connection, the new business connection, the new friend who becomes like a family member, you know, maybe a new lover. But we need to look at this. We need to transform this instead of ignoring it, because there's growth in this. There's growth in this ending. All right, tell me about the Ten of Swords here. Tell me about the Ten of Swords here. We have the Four of Wands. So could be with family, with a friend, within a friend group, someone you were married to, someone you wanted to be married to, someone you shared a residence with. Tell me more about this Ten of Swords. One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Four of Wands, we have Justice, and we have the Ten of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Six of Pentacles, Hangman, and the Lovers. There's a need here to pause and look at this situation, environment, or connection. I came to an end here and see it from another perspective. Page of Pentacles, there was something to learn from that connection ending. Yes, either was a connection at, or maybe even a job, you know, you worked at this place for a long time, you made a lot of money there. Could be family, someone you were married to, wanted to be married to, had joint resources with. There was a karmic lesson here to learn with that Justice card. What was the lesson? What was the lesson here? I feel like if you just jump into the role of the Magician, you're like, yep, that sucked, on to the next. I feel like you bring that emotional trauma, emotional baggage with you into the next connection, and it affects the next connection. Tell me more about this. What was the lesson here with that Ten of Swords? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Page of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Fool. Bottom of the deck, Nine of Cups, Page of Wands, King of Wands. Do you really know what makes you happy? Like, do you really know what makes you happy? Because, and I don't mean that in a way to talk down to you, but I kind of feel like you're, I feel, and again, just take the messages how they resonate to you, and don't be offended. All of these messages are meant to help us grow, right, and evolve. I feel like you have this idea, this ideal, like, of what happiness looks like in a relationship, in a friendship, at a job. But I don't know how much it's rooted in reality and how much of it maybe is fantasy. So there's something here about like rushing in too quickly into something because it feels good, instead of looking at the black and white figures and the truth of the matter. So let's just use job as an example. You bump into someone, you have a 5-minute conversation. I don't know, I'm going to use accountant, and I know I always default to that, but I feel like that's the easiest thing. So, you know, you're an accountant, you're out of work, you bump into someone, they have an accounting firm, you know them for 5 minutes, they tell you that there's an opening, you get no background information. We have no swords here. You get no real background information. There's no research on the company. You don't look to see what their employee retention is like, you know, how long they keep an employee. You get no information on benefits. It's just, it sounds good. The person says, come in tomorrow, we'll do a quick interview and you can start on Monday. And you're like, okay, yippee, I'm just going to move forward with very little information. So there's a gleaning of information, but it's very small. And then you make the choice just to have a new beginning, and you go and you start the job. And then, you know, a couple weeks later, a couple months later, you're like, oh my God, this is not what this person thought it was. And was it that person's fault for not telling you the truth? Yeah. Not saying that they were genuine or that they're a good person, but you didn't do your homework. You went in based on feeling. This feels good, as opposed to what are the facts and figures here? What's your benefits package? How many days do I get off? What hours are required me to work? Do you require me to work on weekends? Is overtime a requirement here? Is it a necessity in order to keep the job? What are my breaks? How often do you give raises and promotions? You know what I mean? Like, all of those little details that, you know, sometimes are uncomfortable to talk about, but they're needed. Or you're a single Cancerian and you meet a person, you go out on a date and you just fall in love and you're like, yep, this is the person I'm going to marry. Are they? How well do you know them? Do you even know if they want long-term commitment? What are their past relationships like? It's like a fool's rush in kind of feeling. And that's why I asked you, do you really know what makes you happy. Because if you weren't chasing happiness, but instead were able to better define it, this is what a happy job would look like. This is what a happy living situation would look like. This is what a happy friendship would look like. This is what a happy love, romantic partnership would look like. Then when you're encountering individuals that could build that with you or give that to you, you would ask the questions that you need to ask to make sure what they're offering is matching what you want, instead of just going based on what they're telling you in a 5-minute conversation or 1 date or 5 dates. And again, that fools rush in without acquiring all of the information, without getting all of the details. I hope that's making sense. So there's something here about, before you go manifesting the new, what is the new? Because if you can identify it, then you can ask the right questions. So when it presents itself to you, you can ask itself, you can ask it and yourself, does this really align with what I want? It was interesting. I had a conversation with him the other day. Actually, I think it was yesterday. I don't know why I'm being told to share this with you. But we were talking about our relationship. We've been together now for like 5 years. And so we're talking about the relationship and the next step in the relationship and kind of where we both see it going. And I said to him, at my age, at 51 years old, I'm looking for a long-term life partner. I'm not at the stage, and nothing wrong if you're 51 and you're at this stage. I'm just saying my stage. I'm not at the stage where I'm just dating to have fun, or I'm just dating to F around, or, to have some guy buy me a meal. I could buy my own meal. I'll cook my own meal. That's not why I'm in a relationship. I'm not even in a relationship for sex, because I could even do that myself. So, so it's like I'm in it for the long run. And he was like, well, where are you going with this? And I said, well, I'm just saying it's been 5 years. And I think it's time that we just kind of start discussing where we're going. Are we going to ever live together? I'm just trying to get an idea. And I think all along we've had this conversation and we've always been on path, but we haven't discussed it in quite some time, probably 7 or 8 months. So I just kind of felt like it was time to like revisit it. And he was like, I'm in it for the long run with you, like however we define that, however that evolves for us, but I'm in it for long term with you. And I was like, okay, I'm glad to know we're on the same page. And he's like, well, why do you ask? And I said, well, because I'm not just dating you to date you to have fun, or because we have great sex, or we go out and have great experiences, or you bring me flowers without me asking and for no reason. Like, that's not why I'm with you. I could buy my own flowers. I just wanted to continually just kind of do a checkup every now and then, make sure we're on the same page. And he goes, well, like, what would happen if I would have said like, no? I would have been like, bye. And he's like, really? Just bye? I'm like, yes, bye. Because at 51, I have no time to waste. So, and that was just kind of like a cute little back and forth we had, but it's true. If I wasn't in a relationship with him and I was totally single and I'm dating someone, I'm sorry, at 51 years old, I'm asking you on the first date. I'm not asking you to marry me, but I'm asking you, are you dating to have fun, or are you dating because you're looking for long-term commitment? Because if you're dating to have fun, I'm not going to stick around and try to convince you that you should want what I want. I'm going to say, you know what? I had a really great time. Here's half of the bill. I really enjoy this, and I wish you a lot of luck in going out there and having fun. But we're already not compatible, so I'm not going to stay in the connection and try, you know what I mean? Waste time trying to get it to evolve and convince you that I'm the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. So there's something like that about having the difficult conversation or uncomfortable conversation in the beginning, instead of rushing head first and then crashing into the wall with that 10 of swords, and it leads to heartache and trauma. And then you look back and you go, oh my God, I just spent X amount of months or years at this place and it wasn't what I thought it was, or this person didn't want what I want. But odds are they didn't want what you want, or couldn't give you what you wanted from the get-go, from the beginning. And had you asked the right questions, you probably would have figured that out. And it would have saved you a lot of time and a hell of a lot of heartbreak. So I think that's what this is saying, is like, we need to go back and look at why this transformed the way it did, or why it ended the way it did. And do you really know your happiness? So you don't continually encounter these stormy connections or stormy, job situations, whatever this is for you. And once you really know what your happy is, then you'll know to ask the right questions moving forward. So let's get into your manifestation here. Tell me more about the Magician card here. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Magician is clarified by the Two of Swords, the Six of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. That's what I'm talking about. So you're manifesting the new, right? Like I'm just speaking like I'm part of the Cancerian collective, even though I'm not. So let's say we don't look at this and we don't figure this out. Now look at our manifestation. We're kind of manifesting blindly, right? And the Two of Swords card, the individual is blindfolded. So it's kind of like, well, I'm blindfolded, I'm just hoping for the best, and I'm going to move forward. But you're putting pentacle energy into what? You don't really know even what you want. So you're manifesting blindly. So and instead of just saying, I'm calling in the next love partner, you're not just calling in the next love partner, because anyone can be your love partner. That doesn't mean that they're going to go to distance. So it's being more precise with what you want. It's not, I want a 6'2" guy or 5'11" gal. It's, what are the qualities that this person needs to have? And that's why I asked you, do you really know what makes you happy? Truly makes you happy? And what does sustainable happiness look like? And it's figuring that out. So when you're manifesting, it's not just bring me what makes me happy. Anything will make you happy. A shitty job will make you happy for a day or two, but is it sustainable? Can you grow within it? Will you get the knowledge from it that you need, that it transforms your life either within that company structure, or you get some really valuable lessons and you can move on to a better job in the future. So that's why I asked, do you know really what your happy is? So with the Moon card, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Hierophant, this is a spiritual lesson here for you to learn on your own in this new moon in Virgo. And we have two back-to-back new moons in Virgo, August 22nd and then again September 21st. And the one in September is an eclipse. So there's something here about learning. And this is a conversation you need to have all on your own. What does happiness really look like in a job, in a relationship, in a friendship, living situation, et cetera, et cetera? So you're not constantly just accepting offers because they feel good in the moment, and then later on leave you feeling Four of Cups, leave you feeling rejected, or that Six of Pentacles. They don't really pay you your value and worth, or they don't give you equal reciprocity in a relationship. So before you start manifesting the new, and I know everyone's like, well, there's a new moon in Virgo, manifest the new. You don't have to do that right away. You have another new moon in Virgo on September 21st. Maybe take the next 4 weeks to really figure out what happiness looks like and what's the criteria of that. Not just the job is great because it allows you to do blank. What's the pay scale like? What's the growth scale like? So there's something like that, like figuring out the manifestation and then call it in September. I feel like that's the message. There's something here about transforming this over the course of the next 4 weeks. And then you're manifesting with your eyes wide open instead of your eyes wide shut. Two of Cups. Tell me about the Two of Cups here. We have the High Priestess. We have the High Priestess. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the Strength card. And we have the Two of Wands. You'll be able to make better decisions moving forward and more confidently, because then you'll have the confidence to reject something that you know automatically, like intuitively. You'll just know when you're dating the person, you're talking to that person, you're talking to the potential boss. You'll just intuitively know, nope, this is not for me. This is, you'll just know, and then you'll know what direction you need to pivot and move in, instead of just accepting something that in the moment feels good. So you do have new connections in the future. You don't have to settle for less or settle for the first thing that just feels good. So figure out what your happiness is. What does it really look like? And what are the details or requirements necessary for it to be that? So when you encounter this next professional soulmate or platonic soulmate or romantic soulmate, you'll know the right questions to ask, and you'll intuitively know whether or not it's aligned with what truly makes you happy. And in that case, you'll be able to, I don't want to say like everything's rainbows and unicorns from there on out, but you'll be able to have less stormy connections in your life moving forward. That's what I have for you, Cancer, at this time. If you like that message, resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace. All right, messages are getting deep now. Leo. Hello, Leo. Let's see what your message is at this time. What do you need to know at this time for the Leo collective? What would you like Leo to know at this time? Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. Leo, make sure you check out your other placements. There could be some information there for you. And also check out the placements if this reading in particular does not resonate with you at all. Message here for Leo at this time. What would you like the Leo collective to know at this time? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Home. Card number 10. Bottom of the deck, knowledge. Tell me more about home. Card number 10 and card number 34. Right behind knowledge, we have talisman. So there's the key. Knowledge is the key to figuring out home, where you belong. Figuring out where you belong or what feels like home. Or if it feels like home, is it good? Because if we grew up in an abusive situation or with a narcissistic parent, then if you end up with a narcissist, and just example, it's coming to me, and you're like, oh God, this feels like home. Is that a good thing if home was a bad place growing up? So knowledge is your key to defining what home, what a healthy home is really like, what a healthy home really feels like, whether home for you is a person, place, or thing. Okay, tell me more about this here for Leo. One more shuffle here. Thank you. First card out, Page of Swords, knowledge, acquiring knowledge, the Sun, the Two of Wands, so you can make better decisions moving forward. Two cards came out here, Justice and the Ace of Swords, and that is the truth. Double down there on that message. Technically, two Aces of Swords there. Bottom of the deck, King of Swords, the World card, and Four of Swords. I've tapped into a group of you where home was toxic, but it was the only home you knew. It was the only home you knew, and you're drawn to people, places, and things that make you feel like home, because theoretically speaking, home should be a safe place, right? So if someone makes us feel like home, we feel warm and comforted. But what if home wasn't a place of warmth and comfort? What if it was toxic? What if it was abusive? What if you had a narcissistic parent? So I've tapped into a group of you where home wasn't the nicest thing, and you're drawn to people who make you feel like home. And I had an okay upbringing, very narcissistic mother, who I no longer engage with on any level. I wish her well, but there's no room in my life for that anymore. And I remember when I met Rob, I very early on in the relationship, I said, you feel like home. And he was like, you feel like home too. And then he left. And that night I sat here by myself and I thought, oh God, if he feels like home, that's not saying much about him. And I saw him a couple days later and I was like, you don't feel like home anymore. And he was like, oh my God, we've only been seeing each other for a few weeks. Am I home or am I not home? And I was like, no, you're not home. You're the home I've always wanted. And so I realized in that moment that he wasn't the home that I grew up in. And I struggled for the first couple of years in our relationship because I kept defaulting to patterns from home, from what I knew as home. And I didn't have the healthiest home growing up. So I've had a lot of inner work to do in this relationship with him. So now I have a better understanding of what healthy home is like. And I feel like some of you haven't figured that out yet. And that's why this message is coming through. So let's clarify that Page of Swords. One more shuffle here. Thank you. This is looking back into the past. Ace of Wands. That's the truth. Moon. Two of Swords. Seeing what you didn't see before. So I've tapped into a group of you that, yes, absolutely, you get involved in situations, environments, or connections that feel like home, but a home was toxic or home was turbulent or there wasn't a lot of love in the home, or you were never made to feel good enough, or maybe you had a parent that put all their happiness on your shoulders. And then it was like your fault if they had a bad day, or it was your fault if they drank, or it was your fault they got fired, because they just put all their happiness on you. So there's something here about looking back into the past. The Page of Swords is looking, to the back and seeing it for really what it was and realizing that home wasn't the greatest place. So now moving forward, when you're faced with situations, environments, or connections that make you feel like home, you see it for what it is and you automatically reject it because that wasn't a healthy home. So if it feels that way, that's your not doing this, not doing this. Two of Wands, making better decisions moving forward. Once you figure that out. Tell me about the Two of Wands. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Two of Wands, Three of Swords, the Star, and the Two of Cups, healing that wound when it comes primarily to connections in your life, whether they're professional, platonic, or romantic. That if you grew up in a turbulent home and then you meet someone and they make you feel like home, that is not a good thing. That is not a good thing if they're reminding you of that. If it's as comforting as the turbulent home that you had. And that's the truth. That's a lesson here that the Leo collective needs to heal. Four Swords to the World card. And I feel like most of you are this far away, like literally on the precipice of seeing that wound, acknowledging it, absorbing it, and healing it. So when you move forward now in connections, you'll be more like the King or Queen of Swords and seeing it realistically, seeing it from new eyes, as opposed to, look at that, Four of Wands, Seven of Swords. The home that really wasn't a home, wasn't really a home, was maybe inconsistent, not a lot of investment in you as a person, didn't respect boundaries or even teach you how to put them up. Whole new beginning here with that Fool card here. Okay, shorter message than the others, but that's okay. Aries had a short message too, so don't be offended. Where are you headed once you figure this wound out, see this wound, and heal it? Where's the Leo collective headed? Four Swords to the World. One more shuffle. Thank you. Four of Pentacles. Hangman. Nine of Swords. Bottom of the deck, Ten of Swords. Putting an end to that. Putting an end. Seeing this from a different perspective. Oh, why am I always drawn to people who do blank? I think I did your reading a couple of weeks ago, and I said you kind of have to look for like the common theme. Like, why do I always draw in this kind of person? Or what do they all have in common? I think we just figured it out in this reading. Like, if those messages resonated for you, this is your answer. They felt like home. A home that wasn't loving, a home that wasn't consistent, a home where maybe one of the parents was narcissistic or maybe even competed with you, which is a bit of a narcissistic quality for a parent to have. So there's something here of, I've been holding on to this theory or image of home, but it was an illusion. Nine of Swords. It was all in my mind. It was all in my mind. Home really wasn't what I believed. So this is undoing that, which isn't going to happen overnight. But boy, are you well on your way to healing it once you actually can see it. Because then moving forward, you'll be connecting with people who don't feel like the home you had, but feel more like the home that you now want to create or recreate in your life for yourself. So 10 of Swords, 6 of Cups, and 7 of Cups. Viewing connections in the future much differently than you view them in the past. Putting an end to that. Knight of Swords, 6 of Swords, and the Hermit. Boy, what a spiritual lesson now. So when you move forward, you'll be making better, healthier decisions about the people you are including in your life and surrounding yourself and your life with. That is what I have for you, Leo. Like I said, quick reading, similar to the Aries reading, but probably the most powerful one. You and Gemini, probably the most powerful one so far. So that is what I have for you, my dear. This whole thing of there's no place like home. Yeah, you're right. There's no place for home in my life moving forward. That is what I have for you, my dear. If you like that message, resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out your other placements. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace. Hello, Virgo. Let's take a look at your message. What does Source want you to know at this time? Message for the Virgo collective. Excited to have two back-to-back new moons in Virgo. The one in September is an eclipse. So we'll see. These should be especially powerful for you. Remember to take these messages how they resonate to you. Check out your other placements so you can get a better comprehensive view, and check them out, especially if this message does not resonate with you at all. Tapping into the Virgo collective now. Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. What does Virgo need to know at this time? One more shuffle here. Thank you. What do you need to know? Growth. Card number 15. Bottom of the deck, Spiritual Cleansing, card number 50. And right behind that, we have Protection, card number 1. Okay, what does Virgo need to know? Growth and cleansing. Spiritual cleansing. Being told to look underneath the Protection card. Past life. Okay, so you have a lesson here. A lesson from a past life soulmate that'll help you to grow. Maybe even clear away some debt, past life debt, karmic debt. Let's see where we go with this message. Tell me why growth is here for the Virgo collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. First card out, Strength. Second card out, 8 of Swords. I'm sorry, Four of Cups, then the Eight of Swords. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Next card, King of Swords. Bottom of the deck, King of Wands, Hangman, Three of Cups. Magician, Five of Cups, Temperance here at the bottom of the deck. I just heard, Here I Go Again on My Own. That's by White Snake? White Snake. Okay. Someone watching listens to White Snake. Okay. Four of Cups. Why is the Four of Cups here? Why is the Four of Cups here? I feel like there's, okay. Only take the message if it resonates, and obviously I'll clarify more. I feel like there's something you carry with you into every connection you get into, whether it's a friend, family member, or lover. There's something every time you make yourself brave, you know, like you're feeling brave enough or vulnerable enough to engage with someone. There's like something from the past that's always coming forward with you. Tell me about the Four of Cups. What is the Four of Cups here? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Four of Cups clarified by the Star, the Three of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. Why is the Eight of Swords here? You can set yourself free from this. You don't have to take this into the future with you. You could take the lessons so you don't repeat them again. But you can heal this and not take it with you. What is the Eight of Swords here? One more shuffle. Thank you. You can free yourself from this. Six of Wands, Seven of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. I almost feel like this is preventing you from having truly unconditional love for yourself. There's something here the Virgo collective is carrying with them. Every time you move forward holding on to something from the past. It actually prevents you from loving yourself truly, or just opening up your heart in general. King of Swords, time to see this. Time to see this for what it is. Tell me more about the King of Swords here. One more shuffle. Thank you. Seeing it from another perspective. It's affecting connections in your life, or the people you choose to connect with in your life, whether they're friends, family, or lovers. King of Swords, Nine of Swords, the Hierophant, King of Cups. It's something about love here. Self-love, the love of others. Ten of Cups, Eight of Cups, and the Seven of Cups. So I feel like I've tapped into a group of you. Make sure you check your other placements. I've tapped into a group of you where you enter a connection and everything seems to be going great. And then all of a sudden, someone's emotionally detaching, or we're becoming distant, and then we're going our separate ways. And I feel like it's a recurring theme here. And then you're always left feeling confused in that Seven of Cup energy. Why did that happen? Because we're going backwards. We're entering the connection, Ten of Cups, and then we get to the Eight of Cups, and then it's the Seven of Cups. So there's a need here in the Ace of Swords to see why does that happen? When the connections get so good, why does it happen? What happens? And what happens and why does it happen that then the connection kind of falls away, or there's emotional withdrawal on their part, on your part? I feel like when connections end for you, you're a bit confused afterwards about why they ended, or why the person or people acted that way. Or, all right, let's keep going. It's going to be a deep message here for you. Hangman. Something about seeing it from another perspective. Tell me about the Hangman energy. One more shuffle. Thank you. Nine of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and Page of Pentacles. I don't think you know your worth. The Nine of Pentacles is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. And this is an individual who knows their worth. I feel like you attract pages in friend groups, friends who become like family, lovers. I feel like you attract pages. So is this a self-worth issue for you? You're attracting pages, and then you're wondering why the connections aren't going the distance. I hate to make it sound hierarchical. They're not at your level. They're not at your spiritual level, or they're not as independent as you. And look, it's great to be friends with people and have acquaintances of people from, all stations in life, and have all different kinds of jobs. And, it's true. You can learn something from anyone, right? But I'm talking about a vibrational match. I'm not talking about being friends with the guy who picks up your garbage, or you know what I mean? I'm not saying you have to just be friends with the white collar people who make 6 figures a year. That's not at all what I'm saying. This is an energetic and vibrational mismatch where you're the 9 of Pentacles and you're drawing in pages. Why are you drawing in pages? And I feel like you're repeating this over and over again in the connections. And then when the connections fall away, it's kind of like, well, what happened? 5 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, what happened? I thought we were solid. I thought they had my back. I thought I had their back. No, you had their back. They didn't have your back. They're a page. They don't know how to have your back. Like a 9 of Pentacles would have their back. Do you know what I mean? Why did that person step out on me? Because they're a page in a relationship. They're not a 9 of Pentacles in the relationship. They don't see relationship the way you do. They don't see loyalty the way you do. They don't see growth the way you do. They don't see commitment the way you do. They don't see respect the way you do. It's an energetic mismatch. It's a vibrational mismatch. Okay. I think you need to cleanse this. I think the Virgo collective needs to cleanse this. I feel like you're protected. So let me get into the protection message here. I feel like you're protected. That's why these connections end up falling away. The friend group, the social circle, the lover. You're being protected from engaging in or spending any more of your valuable 9 of Pentacles resources, your time, your love, your money, your commitment, your loyalty on people that can't grow at the rate you're growing. They have a lot. You have growth to do. We all have growth to do. But they have a hell of a lot more growth to do. They're just not at your level. So when they're not at your level, they're just falling out of your life. So I think that's why you're being protected from these people. Yeah, you've got past life here. So you might feel close to these people because they're past life connections, but that doesn't mean that they're meant to be in your life, you know, for the rest of your life in this life. It's obvious since the past life you have grown, your soul has evolved. You've had some spiritual cleansing. You've had some spiritual healing over, you know, lifetimes. They haven't. They haven't. So your soul is recognizing them and feeling drawn to this friend or this group or this lover, but they're not where you're at. So just because they're a past life connection, or you have moments of deja vu, or you feel like you've known them lifetime after lifetime, you probably have. But you're being protected from them in this lifetime because on a soul level, they have not had the growth that you have had. So that's message number 1. If you're wondering why these connections are consistently ending, remember I said before, you're bringing something from the past. It's always there. One of the things you're always bringing are these past connections. You're so easily or quickly drawn to them because you're judging them based on how your soul recognizes their soul. And you're kind of ignoring the red flags, not wanting to see that they're not where you're at spiritually. They're not at your level. So that's message number 1. If you're wondering why these connections haven't worked out, they're not at your level. I'm sure the other 11 zodiac signs will get pissed off to hear that. But, and I'm not saying that that's for every connection in your life, but for the majority of them, you are drawing in pages. And that's why they're not lasting. So that's number 1. So that's the one thing that you're bringing in. When I said something keeps following you from connection into connection, it's this belief that because it feels familiar, because the person feels familiar, they're meant to be in my life. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. So that's message number 1. Message number 2, there's something here about self-worth and self-value. Because if you really saw yourself as the 9 of Pentacles, connecting with a page, you would automatically know it's not a vibrational match and you would reject it. You wouldn't even engage with it. You could be cordial to it. You could keep it as an acquaintance, but you don't have to befriend it. You don't have to date it. There's also something here about your self-worth. You're not seeing yourself as a king or queen of wands. Okay. Tell me more about this here. One more shuffle. Thank you. 6 of Swords. Temperance. The Devil. Yeah. You're not seeing your worth, Hermit. The Hermit. Hermit to the Tower to the 8 of Pentacles. This is a pattern over and over again in the 9 of Wands. You're not, well, I think this reading will help, but even if you weren't having this reading or like you weren't seeing it, I still think at some point over the course of the next 4 weeks, you're going to have this aha epiphany moment of why these connections aren't working out. Do they feel familiar to you? Absolutely. Are they probably past life connections? Yep, most of them probably are. And that's why you feel this like they're kindred spirits. But you've gone through spiritual healing and spiritual cleansing in this lifetime and over the course of the past lifetimes. You've had growth. They haven't. And you can't stifle your growth or lower yourself. I guess that's the right way to say it. Lower yourself to be a vibrational match to these people. And I don't even think you can do that. You could fake it for a while, but there's something here about moving on from those past connections. Again, just because someone feels familiar doesn't mean that they're at your level. And it's really being able to see that clearly, not in a judgmental way, but in a way that protects you from engaging with people that can't give you the reciprocity that you need and deserve and should be expecting. And now we go to the expecting. There's something here where you don't know your self-worth, and that's why you keep connecting to the, getting involved in these toxic connections. These are like people that play games. This is like 13-year-olds dating. 13-year-old dating isn't going to date the way a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old, a 50 or 60-year-old does. Just don't have the life experience. So there's something like that. Like you don't know your self-worth, and so you're connecting to these people. So Archangel Michael is here to help you. Tell me more about this. Tell me more about this healing. And the self-worth wound here for Virgo. 9 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles, working on this pattern with you or helping you to see this pattern and work on it so you can like self-master yourself. Yes, Chariot, so you can move forward and have victory in your connections. 7 of Pentacles, you've been existing in connections like this for a long time. 1, totally not seeing your worth. And 2, attracting lower vibrational people and then trying to maintain them because you feel this connection. High Priestess, Ace of Wands. You need to see yourself for who and what you truly are and what you bring to the table. And again, you could be cordial and keep, you can keep the pages and even the nights as friends but like distant friends and acquaintances, not bring them so close into your circle. But if you know your value, you'll be able to make better decisions. So I'll give you an example of this. So if I turn the clock back 10 years, when I was not living in this house and I was married, I was running a small town nonprofit museum that I opened up here in my town. And the people that were drawn to the museum as volunteers were very good people. They were. And at that time, I think I was at the same vibrational, I believe I was a vibrational match with them. And so we all got along and we all shared the same common cause of the museum. But when the museum closed, we had shut down the nonprofit and dissolved it. And then I went through the divorce and had more of a spiritual awakening. My life has radically changed. And so about a week ago, was it? I think it was around August 11th. I walked into a local bar, a local pub that I had not been in probably 5 years, 6 years, something like that. And it was great to see everyone. And I sat there feeling a little judgy because my life had, I don't know, had evolved so much, had changed so much. My perspective of life has changed and I see things differently and I act differently. I show up in the world much differently than I did just 5 years ago. And I'm sitting around the bar and it's probably going to sound so terrible, but a Virgo will appreciate this because I'm your cousin side of Gemini. I sat there like it internally to me, ew, 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 like literally looking at the people like, ew. I felt so uncomfortable being there because they had not grown at all. They had some hard life lessons in that time. I know it firsthand and I heard about it secondhand, but it didn't change them. They refused to do any work. They refused to look inside. And I just realized total vibrational mismatch. That's probably the last time I'm going to step foot in the pub. As much as I like the owner, and I'll find different ways, maybe I'll get takeout food from there, something like that. But to sit there and I'm not saying all bars are bad or drinking is bad. It's just the people in there, the 6 people that were in there that day that I walked in, I was just kind of like, wow, no growth. no growth whatsoever. If anything, some of them went backwards. And that's when I realized I'm just a vibrational mismatch. And now I can better, discern that. 10 years ago, I would have been like, these are my people. And they were at the time, but they're not my people anymore. And so, again, I hate to make it sound hierarchical, but that's kind of what it is. And it was really interesting because they were like, oh my God, like you changed so much. Like even my posture sitting there changed. And it's like, yeah, because I don't know, I've evolved as a person. I've evolved spiritually. And even the way I was talking, I don't notice a difference because I'm not talking to myself. I mean, I guess I kind of do. We all do, but you know what I mean? I'm not hearing myself talk all the time, but they noticed a difference in just how I sat there and how I was communicating. And then we got into, tarot and all of that stuff. And some of them were just like, ugh, like, and I'm thinking to myself, seriously, you could probably benefit from this because I did, and most people do. So that's what I have for you, Virgo. If you're wondering why these connections have left your life, you'll probably have that aha epiphany moment over the course of the next 4 weeks, like I did on August 11th, of this is why these people aren't in my life anymore. It doesn't mean they weren't good volunteers back then. It doesn't, doesn't negate the friendship that we had at that time, but those aren't the friends that I can carry with me into the future. We are no longer a vibrational match. They are people who are no longer doing the work, at least for now. Things can change, and I hope and pray for all of them. And again, I'm not looking down on them, and I'm not being judgy, but total vibrational mismatch for me and where I am in my life at this time. And I think that's your aha epiphany moment. And when you realize that, I think your self-worth will kick in. And if it doesn't, it should. Definitely work on your self-worth. But that mere acknowledgement will give you a little bit boost of the self-esteem that I think you're lacking, which is drawing in these people to begin with. That's what I have for you, Virgo. If you're wondering why the connections have fallen away, it's because you've been protected from them. You will be drawing in new connections. We'll draw you some cards on that real quick. Since this is your new moon, we can go a little extra on you. So can I get some cards here for the future connections coming in for Virgo? Future connections here coming in for Virgo. Yeah, even the eye here in the spiritual cleansing card is protection. And then you literally have the protection card. So you're being protected from past life soulmates that did not do the work that you have done. Doesn't mean they can't do them in the future. They might come back around again. But if, you're wondering why they're not in your life right now, that's why. Tell me who's new soulmates coming into Virgo's life in the near future. Thank you. We have the 5 of Wands and we have the 4 of Wands. Out of chaos and conflict, now comes more grounded energies. 6 of Pentacles. Those that will give to you reciprocally because they're on your page. 9 of Pentacles. That's what's coming. Stability, reciprocity, not chaos and conflict and immaturity. These are games that children would play. This is a future that an adult will build. So you are meeting builders, people who are stable, people who understand reciprocity, people who are kind, people who are grounded, people who are more established. Notice the group of people here in the 5 of Wands. Look in the background, the people here, and like these people are more settled and grounded. And this person's actually holding a picture, but it kind of looks like a pentacle. So that's why I always say the 4 of Wands in this deck. I know it's a fire energy. For me, it's always feels more grounded because of that. So it's leaving this chaos and confusion there in the background. The immature people, hate to say that, the ones who play games, the ones who are not doing the growth, not doing the internal work. Instead, your new connections coming in are more grounded and more focused and more of a 9 of Pentacle energy. That's what I have for you, my dear. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, please be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out your other placements. And until I read for you again, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace. Hello, Libra. Let's see what message we have for the Libra collective at this time. Remember to check your other placements, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus, so you can get a better, more comprehensive message, and especially check out those placements if this message does not resonate with you at all. Checking. Yeah, I guess we're checking into the Libra collective now, tapping into the Libra collective. What message would you like Libra to know at this time for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements? What would you like Libra to know at this time? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Divine Feminine. Oh, card number 6. Bottom of the deck, karmic path. So whether you're masculine or feminine, doesn't matter. This message is for you because we all embody feminine and masculine energy. You have Saturn here. You have a karmic path, karmic connection that you probably had to learn or have been learning some pretty hard effing lessons from, coming to an end. You have a karmic path ending here, and you're moving in a new direction. Okay, tell me more about this for Divine Feminine. Tell me more about this and the karmic path. I think also some of you, whether you're masculine or feminine, I think you're embracing maybe more love of self, because when we think of the Empress card, it's a very nurturing energy, but it's also someone who nurtures themselves. And maybe that was a lesson some of you had to learn, was true love of self and making decisions that are best for you and not necessarily for other people who are involved. Tell me more about the Divine Feminine here and the karmic path. So I feel like you're right in the middle of this, because Divine Feminine is card number 6 and karmic path is number 8. So I feel like we're in the 7 right now. So you're in the middle of learning this lesson. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Ace of Swords came flying out of the deck. Truth, clarity, followed by the Page of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. Bottom of the deck, the Magician, the Three of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, the World card. No matter how much I cleanse and shuffle these decks, very similar message keeps coming out. Bottom of the deck, the Devil, the Four of Swords, and the Moon. Boy, are you healing this old wound between the new moon in Virgo on August 22nd and the new moon in Virgo, because we're having 2 of them back to back on September 21st. Boy, are you healing this karmic, toxic path here, seeing something very clearly. It's like you're starting off with fresh eyes. It's almost like you're being reborn in this Page of Cup energy, learning about self-love. I feel like that's lesson number 1 here. So you're completing a cycle. You're not quite there yet. This is looking a little out. Not quite there yet, but well on your way. There's a need here for you to look back into the past to see why the situation, environment, or connection played out the way it did. Ace of Swords. There's a truth here. You can't just say, I'm wrapping this up and I'm moving on. This is almost needing to learn that karmic lesson. Otherwise, you'll be doomed to repeat it in another situation, environment, or connection. So the Ace of Swords, the King is looking right at that. So what is that? One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Lovers, the Eight of Wands, and the Strength card. Bottom of the deck, 3 of Cups, 6 of Wands, 9 of Wands, 8 of Cups. There was a pattern here of staying in connections or hanging on to the hope of a connection and not really seeing it for what it was. I think for some of you, and I'll only take this how it resonates, for some of you, or at least for one of you watching, there was something here about longevity in a connection. Like, and maybe it was, maybe this is something that was like instilled in you as a child, that looking at people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s and being able to say, oh my God, they were with the same partner for 30, 40, 50, 60 years, right? No divorce. And they lived happily ever after the end. And we never had a fight type of thing. There's something here about seeing how that affected you and your choice in partners, but not so much your choice in partners, why you stayed in those partnerships, trying to live up to some unrealistic expectation and enduring the red flags or ignoring the red flags and enduring the karmic cycles over and over again, because there was something here of like, I want to be able to be 90 years old one day and look back and say, I've been in my marriage for the last, 50, 60, 70 years, something like that. So there's something here about moving forward in connections, staying in connections. And this could even be with friendships or business partnerships that aren't necessarily good for us, but we're just going to keep repeating the same pattern because there's something here about longevity. There's something here about longevity. I got to stay in it till the end. I got to sacrifice myself till the end. The second message that I'm getting here, some of you are hanging on to the hope of a connection with someone who you don't even have a relationship with. You make the active choice to not move forward. You hold yourself back from moving forward to this person. And you do this over and over again because there's a belief here that one day you'll come together with this person, or you'll reconnect with them, or they'll fall in love with you, and you're wasting a lot of time. You're wasting a lot of time. There's a lesson here for the Libra collective about, this is going to sound so mean, and I don't mean it in a mean way. I'm your sister, brother sign of Gemini, and I'm not a mean person. I can be mean, but I'm not being mean right now. I have no other way how to say this. It's kind of like knowing when to leave the party, but not leaving the party. Have you ever thrown a party? I've thrown a few in my lifetime, and it gets to like 2, 3 in the morning, and everybody's gone except for me. I'm the host, and one person who keeps making excuses or reasons why they need to stay. They're going to help me clean up. Oh, I'm not ready to go to bed yet. The night is still young. And meanwhile, as the host, I'm sitting there on the couch, like thinking to myself, it's time to go, buddy. I gotta wake up and do laundry and go food shopping. And like, I have errands to run tomorrow. And you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here kind of feeling. And it's like I've tapped into a group of you where you're like, you're that person. Like when you don't recognize when it's time to leave the party, you keep staying. And I don't mean that in a bad way at all. It's just this thing of like, everything is fine, everything is great, we're partying, it's 2 in the morning. I don't, it's like not wanting to see that the party is over, even when the host is kind of letting you know the party's over. It doesn't make me feel good to say that, but I kind of have to let you know what I'm seeing here. And if you knew your worth and your value, you would have called it at 9 o'clock that the party was coming to an end before you felt inconvenienced by the host asking you to leave or doing something that you felt was offensive. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. I mean, I stayed till the very end. I was the last person there. I helped them clean up. I scrubbed the wine stain out of their rug. And I can't believe at 3 o'clock in the morning, they were just like, you got to go home. You overstayed your welcome. So there's something here about not wanting to see when the party is over. Page of Pentacles. There was a lesson here to learn. That was the lesson. Not knowing when to say goodbye, not knowing when to get a divorce, not knowing when to, you've outstayed a welcome at a gathering or at a meeting, or you've outgrown a connection, or the connection has outgrown you. And I think this comes from not only you not valuing yourself, you not valuing your time. There's something here about you learning to value your pentacle and time. Time, my darling, is the most valuable commodity you have, most valuable commodity we all have. So it's learning about not only what you give your love to and learning self-love, but the biggest act of self-love is knowing how to invest your time and when to stop investing it. And I think that was the lesson here for the Libra collective. Tell me more about this Page of Cups. I feel like this is the self-love portion. Because if you truly loved yourself, you wouldn't have wasted so much time on this. And the reason why you need to learn this is so you don't make the mistake, or you don't repeat that pattern again in the future with the next, person or people that you end up connecting with. So Page of Cups here. That's why before you move forward in the King, Queen of Wands energy, there's a need to, I'm just going to pause, not because I'm returning back to the past, but I want to learn that karmic lesson from the past. One more shuffle here on that Page of Cups. Thank you. The Four of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Tower. Yeah. Self-mastery. Understanding that structure and stability all begins within you, not you sacrificing your structure and stability to stay in something or to wait for something. So that's lesson number 1. And that's the radical aha epiphany moment that the Libra collective will be having pretty soon, probably in your season, in Libra season, of structure and stability and home resides within me, and I don't have to sacrifice myself or put myself last in any connection in my life. Bottom of the deck, 4 of Cups. I should not settle for people who make me feel neglected or rejected, who just aren't offering who aren't offering me an Ace of Cups, or who are not accepting the Ace of Cups that I'm giving them. How much time have you wasted waiting for someone to accept that Ace of Cups? For those of you where you're holding on to the dream or wish or hope of being with someone who's not accepting your Ace of Cups, they haven't accepted it to date. Wasting more time isn't going to make them accept it. It also decreases your self-value and worth by just squandering time waiting for someone who doesn't see your value. Doesn't mean you don't have value. It means that person has an inability to see it. So that's lesson number 1. Radical acceptance of self and valuing yourself and your time, and not staying in situations, environments, or connections that reject you or make you feel unwanted, or that don't offer you what you need or accept what you're giving. Page of Pentacles, secondary lesson here. Secondary lesson here for the Libra collective. Time. One more shuffle here. 7 of Pentacles. Time. Most precious commodity. Knight of Cups. 7 of Swords. You sabotage yourself by waiting. Are these soulmate, soul bond connections? 6 of Cups. They are. Are they intended to stay in your life forever? Nope. They're intended to teach you karmic lessons. Some of the hardest effing lessons we learn come from our karmic partners. But there's a need here, and this is a tough one. Gratitude. Those people had karmic contracts with you to teach you these lessons. You may not believe in that, but I do. We come to this earth agreeing to these contracts. We agree to learn the lesson, and they agree to teach it to us. This was a really good effing teacher you had. Fulfilled their contract to a T. It's time for you to fulfill your end of it and see it for what it was. Just a hard lesson. And be grateful, because now you've learned it. Now you've learned self-love. Now you've learned how precious your time and your energy and your loyalty, and how precious you are, how valuable you are. That's what this person or these people had to teach you. Once you learn that and really learn it, then you can forge forward. Manifest your new beginning. Truly claim your independence and freedom and autonomy, not from this person, from the mindset that kept you trapped there to begin with. World card. Lesson is complete. The Libra collective gets to move forward. Where are they headed? 10 of Wands, dropping those burdens. 2 of Cups. Balanced soulmate connections, not karmic. Knight of Pentacles. Within a year, new soulmate, soul bond connections coming in. For some of you with the Death card, you might close out this connection or these connections, or realize all of this between now and Scorpio season. So you'll be well on your way. For others of you, it'll take you up to a year to close this out. And I don't know why that is. You need to find another job. You need to secure housing. You need to save your money. You need to get a divorce. Like, it'll be, different for all of you. You need to relocate, but half of you will be closing this out by Scorpio season, or learning these lessons and moving forward, moving on. And for others of you, this will be a learning process over the course of next year as you close this out, because I'm not predicting anything here. You already know. If this message is resonating, you're already in the thick of this. You're in the thick of this closing out. But before you just close it out and go, okay, well, that didn't work out. Okay, I'm going to heal my heart and on to the next. Don't just heal the heart, heal the wounds so you don't experience that heartache again. Will you have other heartaches? Yep, we all do, but not these. As long as because you'll never waste your time waiting for someone to accept your love again, or to be reciprocal in nature, or to respect you and respect what you bring to the table. You'll never waste your time again. You'll have other lessons, but not this one. You'll call it out when you see it, and you'll move on from it and save yourself a hell of a lot of heartbreak and heartache in the long run. So that's what I have for you. That's your message right now from Source coming in loud and clear. You are valuable. You are worthy. But you have to truly understand that. And maybe not now, maybe in the future, find a little gratitude that this person or these people taught you that. That was their role in your life. For some of you, it took you a year to learn that lesson. For others of you, 20 years. But you've learned it. And that's a mistake you're never making again. That's what I have for you, Libra, slowly growing into the Empress energy that you are truly meant to be. Whether you're masculine or feminine. That's what I have for you, my dear. If you like that message, it resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. And until I read for you again, be gentle with yourself. And I'm sending you light, love, and peace. Hello, Scorpio, Mamoon Bebes. Let's see what Source wants us to know at this time. This reading is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. Make sure you check out your other placements. See if any messages within them resonate with you, and especially look at those other placements if this message doesn't ring home true for you at all. No offense there. It's a collective general reading. Tapping into the Scorpio collective now for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. What do we need to know at this time? What do we need to know at this time? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Guides. Card number 7. Bottom of the deck, water. Something here about emotions. Behind water, we have transformation. I know it says guides, but this kind of gives me a feeling of Aquarius. Maybe some of you are dealing with an Aquarius, but it's also giving me like feeling like emotions. And you are a water sign. And then we have the water card. So there's something here about transformation of our feelings. Transformation of our feelings. I just saw the 8 of Cups card. Transforming, transmuting our feelings, or learning how to verbalize them maybe differently, give voice to them. Card number 7 and card number 18. Not sure if I said that, but if I didn't, those are the numbers. Okay, tell me more about this. Hierophant. Oh, it's a lesson here for the Scorpio collective. Tell me more about this here for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Hierophant, the 4 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, the High Priestess. Huge spiritual lesson. Why are you being so stubborn? 8 of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. That leaves the Sun, Queen of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, 7 of Swords. Why you're holding yourself back? You're so stubborn. 4 Pentacles. Why is the 4 Pentacles here? This is like one of those messages. It's either going to hit home or it's not. I'm not offended if it doesn't. Just check another placement. 4 Pentacles. One more shuffle here. Thank you. 4 Pentacles clarified by the Sun, Page of Pentacles, and the 5 of Cups. Knight of Wands, King of Wands, Justice. I feel like your guides, I feel like they're trying to get you to look at something so you can learn a lesson, so you stop repeating a pattern. Something here about shedding light on the lesson. You're holding on to something, this emotion of the 5 of Cups. It could be guilt for some of you. It could be grief. It could be sadness. It could be the feeling of rejection. I mean, in this deck, this person is holding the 2 cups, but they're sitting at the table alone. So there could be like abandonment but instead of transmuting it, transforming those feelings, this is a soulmate here in your life. Okay. There's a soulmate connection here in your life that's left you feeling this way or has you feeling this way right now. But there's a lesson here to learn from those uncomfortable feelings. That's the ticket I just heard. That's the ticket. Someone must say that. 10 of Pentacles. Why is the 10 of Pentacles here? That's the ticket. Why is the 10 of Pentacles here? One more shuffle. Thank you. The Devil. The Page of Swords. The Page of Wands. Look at all of this page activity. 4 of Wands, 6 of Wands, 8 of Wands. I feel like I've tapped into a group. You please don't get upset with me. That if you were to tell someone how you really feel, if you were to tell someone how you really feel, it would not come out in the best way. There's something here about when you get very upset. Look, I'm a Gemini sun, Scorpio moon. I'm all light, love, and peace here. If you upset me out there, I will motherfuck you to the moon and back. I just got demonetized and that's okay. So there's something here that if you were to really unload, really release how this soulmate has made you feel or is making you feel, they may not take it seriously because you're not communicating it from the level of a queen or king or emperor, empress. You're communicating it from a very wounded place, like a page level. It could be a childhood wound that it's triggering for you, and that's why you're responding like a page. Or it could just be that there's a lesson here you need to learn about how you can communicate your feelings, not suppress them, communicate them effectively and efficiently, and dare I say maturely, and not in a go mother F yourself kind of way. Because there's something toxic, like the devil to the page of swords to the page of wands is getting fired up. Think about it over and over again, which kind of pumps you up, right? Makes you angry and angrier because you're like, I'm surprised we didn't see 8 of swords, 9 of swords, but we do. We have the 8 of swords there. So it's like, think about it over and over again. Can't believe they said this. Can't believe they didn't do this. Can't believe he said this. Can't believe she said this, until we work ourselves up. I'm not saying what they did was right or wrong, or what they, didn't do or whatever, or how they made you feel. Not saying that. But how are we communicating about that? Because we're communicating it at a point where we're erupting like a volcano. That's what the devil card in this deck always reminds me of. Like, we're erupting like a volcano instead of handling it more like an adult. But I think it's coming from a wounded place within us. And I keep saying us because I'm a Scorpio moon. I kind of see this once in a while within myself. I think if we're honest, most of us have this, ability to kind of go to that lower level. And it doesn't mean you're, a bad person. This isn't about, are you a good witch or a bad witch? It's just, let's learn how to be able to detach from the emotions. Remember in the beginning, I said this reminds me of like the symbol for Aquarius. Aquarius is like the king and queen of detachment in tarot. And so there's something here about being able to detach our emotions and just communicate on the facts. It's not ignoring the emotions, but it's not acting out in the moment, coming from that place of the wounded emotion. Is that making sense? Hope that's making sense. So 4 of Wands, 6 of Wands, 8 of Wands, it's having grounded communication leads to successful communication. Because I always look at the 4 of Wands as I know it's a fire sign, but for me, I always look at it as like earth energy, even though I know it's not, but that's just my take on it. So it's like having that grounded communication leads to successful communication. Hermit, that's the lesson. We have a communication wound. And our guides have been trying to get our attention to look at this for the longest time. And there's a soulmate in your life, whether that's a twin flame, a soulmate that's supposed to be in your life 1 year, 5 years, the rest of your life, or a karmic soulmate that's only on your path right now to teach you this lesson. And you could have had multiple of them, re-triggering that same old wound, ripping off that same bandage before it was fully healed. But it was all your guide's way of getting you to learn that. Like, why do I keep reacting this way? Why do we keep having this conversation? We're not having the conversation. You're conversing in the same way. That's what's on replay here. So Hermit to the Ace of Swords, that is the truth. 10 of Swords, needing to learn better conflict resolution skills, how to detach our emotions, very Aquarian-like. So I can just tell you the ABC facts, how you made me feel, or how I perceived what you did or didn't do. And now we can have more of a high priestess to a hermit conversation. Now we can have more of a spiritual conversation, a more ascended conversation, instead of resorting to page level conversation, which is just a volcano of words, and I hurt you and you hurt me, and it's like scorched earth policy. That's what our guides are trying to get us. Now, whether or not this soulmate stays in your life, it's up to you. I'm not telling you to keep this person or not keep this person. Because if you don't learn the lesson with this person, same thing's going to happen. Same communication style will repeat in the next connection. And it doesn't mean that it's only in your love connections. This could affect all of your connections. I don't know. Maybe it just affects your platonic ones and not your romantic ones, or vice versa. It's a collective general reading. But that's the lesson. And if I'm telling you this, there's a little voice inside you that says, damn, she got it right. If this is your message, you're like, I know. I know I got to work on that. Gonna just take a look at these. Hermit, Ace of Swords, Ten of Swords, Ace of Wands. There's your new beginning. Seeing that, really seeing that. But then having to go within and figure out, where the hell does that come from? Why do I respond that way? If someone responded that way to you or to I, we wouldn't accept that. Be like, who the hell you think you're talking to? Okay, maybe I didn't do the right thing, or I didn't do it in your time frame, but it doesn't give you the right to speak to me this way. You and I would be highly offended if someone came at us like this. But this is how we're coming at other people. Please don't get mad. It's just a reading. It's either yours or it's not. High Priestess. Spiritual lesson. Huge. High Priestess to the Hierophant. Huge. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Lovers. Five of Pentacles. Knight of Cups. I'm going to get 200 messages in the comments section. I'm not doing it. You don't have to take this person back. You do, you don't. It doesn't affect my life any. It's not what the reading is about. There's an apology here that the Scorpio collective needs to give for how they spoke to someone. And I don't know who this person is. Friend, family member, or lover. Could be a couple of people. I don't know. But there's something here of saying, this does not, negate what you did or condone what you did or what you didn't do or how you spoke for me or how you spoke to me, because I can't speak for you, but I can speak for myself. And I apologize for speaking to you like you were less than. Whether you keep them in your life or not. I know people are going to go, there's no way I'm apologizing to him or her because they did blah, blah, blah. Great. Congratulations. You're not learning the lesson. I don't know what to tell you. You're not learning the lesson. But this is saying, I'm sorry I treated you like you were less than. And you need to make the choice to do that. You don't have to do it. This will all play out again in the next connection with the next person. Could be your neighbor. But it's going to play out again. There's something here about seeing it, seeing where it comes from, acknowledging it, working on how to temper the emotions and detach the emotions so you can communicate in a more effective and mature way, a more spiritually ascended way. And then for some of you, there's an apology you owe someone and you've been resisting. You love this person. I don't know who they are, friend, family member, or lover. They were part of your 10 of Cups at some point. Some of them still are. There's an apology here that you owe. Again, doesn't condone what they did. But there's a recognition here. And look, if this person was really horrible to you and you're like, I'm not calling them, that's fine. You can connect with them spiritually, really sitting down, taking a few moments, meditating on them, on their energy, and saying, I'm really sorry. I'm really genuinely sorry for how I spoke to you. Have the conversation without them being in the room. You don't have to send a text if this was really an abusive person or something like that. Again, this is not condoning what they did to you. This is you being able to step out of your comfort zone and acknowledge the communication wound within you and saying, yeah, I owe that person an apology. Some of you will do it in the 3D and make the phone call or the text or the next time you see the person. And some of you can just do it on the 5D level. But there still needs to be that acknowledgement of like, yeah, I shouldn't have reacted that way or spoke that way or used those words. This is cutting someone down to size. You see them as 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, but when you're angry, you cut them down to a 5 of Pentacles. That's what needs to be acknowledged. Not whether or not they deserved it or not. That's irrelevant. It was our reaction to it. Again, I say we because I don't want you to think I'm picking on you. I'm not. So 8 of Swords, give this considerable amount of time, okay, and learn this lesson. I think some of you, most of you, are going to communicate this once you really see it. And I think it's heartfelt. I don't know how it'll be received from the other side, but again, it's not about them. It's about you learning the lesson and now elevating. Look at your communication style. You're going from a Page of Swords to now a Knight of Swords. It's a little bit better. We're not at king level or a queen level, and that's okay. It's not going to happen overnight, but this is a hell of a growth spurt just by acknowledging this and then practicing the art of emotional detachment when having a conversation that centers around emotions or something that stirred your emotions. Your guides have been trying to get you to look at this for a long time, trying to get us to look at it. So Ace of Pentacles to the Knight of Swords, a little bit of a more mature way now of communicating pain, hurt, resentment, rejection, etc., etc. One more shuffle here. Thank you. King of Cups. Now elevating our emotions, right? We're not coming from page level emotions. We're not coming from page level emotions. We can now be more emotionally balanced when we communicate. King of Pentacles, more solid, more grounded way. Do you notice the King's now coming out? And the Queen of Wands. So we're elevating as a collective. We're elevating, being more grounded, tempering our fire energy, grounding our fire energy, grounding our emotions when we communicate. I just said tempering. Temperance, Nine of Pentacles, Two of Cups, King of Swords. There you go. I think all the kings are on the table. If not, all three, at least three are on the table. So, oh, look at you, transforming. Death card, you, us. Judgment, Eight of Wands, communication, Six of Cups. There's the Queen of Pentacles. Being more grounded now in how we communicate to these soulmates. Again, whether they're in our life 1 year, 10 years, the rest of our lives, whether they're karmic, twin, flame, whatever, they are to you. But being able now to more transmuting, changing the way we communicate with them will, in essence, help to change those connections and change us for the better. Learning how to communicate now at a much more elevated level, if you will. That is what I have for you, my Scorpio moon babies. Huge communication wound here. We need to look at it and learn how to, and it's going to take practice. It's not going to happen overnight, but just get going from page to night. I mean, that just happened just by seeing it and really, really acknowledging it and saying, yep, that's me. What's that Taylor Swift song? Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Again, not saying you're 100% the problem in all of these relationships or maybe one particular relationship, but this communication problem is your problem, is our problem. And that's why the guides now are trying to tell us it's time to learn how to effectively communicate by detaching our emotions. We can talk about them without talking from them. Hope that made sense for someone watching. That's what I have for you, Scorpio. If you like that message, resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out your other placements, especially if this one did not align with your journey at this time. Until I read for you again, moon babies. There we go. Death card. There you go. Transmuting air. Transmuting the way you communicate. Until I read for you again, my loves, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace. Hello, Sagittarius. I was almost going to call you Scorpio. So I think I have some Scorpios lingering about into the Sagittarius reading, which is fine. Cross watchers are welcome. Okay, Sagittarius, let's see what message Source has for you at this time. Tapping into the Sagittarius collective now. Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. Remember to check your other placements, see if there are other messages in those readings, and especially check them out if this reading does not resonate with you at all. What does Sagittarius need to know at this time? What does the collective need to know at this time? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Earth, card number 11, and Focus, which is kind of you, card number 24. Right behind Focus, we have Trust. Okay. I feel like this is you staying very grounded. I don't think there's much for you to do right now. Something about stay grounded and stay focused on your future. Trust in yourself, trust in the universe, trust where you are right now. Just stay focused, like sharp, like an arrow. Stay focused. Okay. Tell me more about this here for Sagittarius. What do they need to know about Earth and Focus? One more shuffle here. Thank you. First card out, Sag, the World. Okay, so you have a completion here. You've learned something valuable. A chapter's closing out. Six of Swords. You're now moving on, moving forward. Queen of Cups. Queen of Wands. Bottom of the deck. King of Cups. Look what you're moving towards. Four of Cups. King of Swords. Okay. Tell me about the World card. Why is the World card here for Sagittarius? Why is the World card here for Sagittarius? One more shuffle here. Thank you. High Priestess. So you know that a chapter, a significant chapter in your life closed out or is on the precipice of closing out. Eight of Pentacles. I think you're already working on the new. Seven of Pentacles. You're already investing time in the new. Stay focused on the new. Stay focused on the new. You're almost through the storm. I don't know why. Someone needs to hear that. Right now, it seems a bit turbulent. Even in the Six of Swords card, even though they're moving into calmer waters, you can still see the rough waves there. So I feel like I've tapped into a group of you. You're not fully out yet, whether that's an emotional storm you're going through, a financial storm, a physical storm, like if you've had health issues. You're not quite there into the calm, but you're making your way. Remain focused. You're almost to land. You're almost to the other side, to the earth. Right now you're in the water. You're almost to the earth or the new destination. Queen of Cups. Why is the Queen of Cups here? Actually, tell me about the Six of Swords. Sorry, let's clarify that Six of Swords. Page of Pentacles, the Hangman, the Ace of Pentacles. So you're already learning about the new. You're already planning for the new. So there's something here about don't lose sight that whatever it is that you're working on, that it's not happening tomorrow. It's happening. This is telling you it's happening. You're on your way. It might take a little longer, but you're on your way. This is really a message here of stay focused, stay grounded. Don't lose sight of where you're going or where you want to be, even if it takes you a little bit longer. The Hermit, the Seven of Cups, the Celestial Weaver. Keep working on this dream or this goal or this plan. Don't give up. Don't get confused. Don't start doubting it. Don't think it's just a dream. Seven of Cups and you'll never get there. No, you're getting there. Queen of Cups. Tell me why the Queen of Cups is here. I notice in both of them, like the Queen of Wands, she has a flame here. The Queen of Cups, the chalice here, there's all fireflies around it, but it kind of looks like a flame. There's something here about like keeping the flame burning, keeping the torch burning for this new beginning or for what you want. Again, just because it's not coming right now, it doesn't mean it's not coming, okay? Queen of Cups. Why is the Queen of Cups here? Keep your heart open to this, open to receive, open to give. Whatever this is that you love, this new beginning, career path, business plan, relationship, keep your heart open to it, okay? One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Devil, the Knight of Wands, and the Sun card. You're coming out of a pretty dark period here in your life, whether you've learned some really hard karmic lessons, and that's what you're moving on from. You're leaving a toxic connection or a toxic work environment. Maybe you're breaking a toxic trait within yourself. That could be codependency, whether that's emotional codependency, financial codependency. You are making your way towards better days. Look how we're going here from the darkness of the devil, something toxic, a trait, a situation, environment, a connection, a chapter in your life that was dark. It was difficult, okay? I'm not going to sugarcoat this reading. Where you've been probably felt like hell, right? When we think of the devil, we think of hell. So a lot of you are coming from a place that even if there are some fond memories there, or you love the person at some point, like if this is a relationship, as you're walking through it, it feels like hell, right? It feels like you're walking through fire, but you're doing it. So look at the incremental brightness in the cards, where we go from something dark, like now you're facing it, ready to walk through it, and then you're literally walking through it. This almost looks like the fire, like the flames, the glow of the embers are like all around you, and then you come out to the sun, to the other side. So we're going from dark to light. We're going from night to day here, literally night and day difference. So keep your heart open as you're moving forward here, because you're doing it. You're taking the inspired action here to move forward towards your wish, your goal, your plan, your next chapter here. So keep going. Stay focused on that plan. Queen of Wands. Stay focused on it, because at any given moment, you will have to act on it. Hierophant. You'll need to take the inspired action. This is telling you to be prepared. Earth energy. This is earth energy. This is Taurus. It's like, be prepared. Get prepared now, right? The Page of Pentacles is a card of learning. Get prepared now. So when this happens, you're ready to go. like at a moment's notice. It's like being on call or on duty fireman and being at the station ready to go, ready for the alarm to siren. You're ready. You know, at some point there's going to be a fire you have to put out. It's just an example. But if you're home sleeping, it'll take you a hell of a lot longer to get up and go than if you're at the station and ready. So this is just telling you, like, get ready. You're ready. This reading will either resonate for you or it's not. I'm not really predicting anything here, except the message is you need to put a plan in place for this next chapter of your life, because at any given moment, it's going to be go time. Phoenix rising from the ashes, coming through that flame, that fire, and the Empress really stepping into this new chapter, emboldened, the moon. It's going to happen when you don't realize it. There's still a need here to plan. My stepdad always says, failure to plan is planning to fail. And he's right. So there's a need here to plan, but you need to plan as if it could happen next week. Even if it doesn't happen until January or June of 2026, the plan still needs to be in place. I'll give you an example. Post-divorce, I bought this house. It's an old Victorian. I have the new windows and thankfully the new roof, but it still needs a lot of work. I've done the attic. I've done most of the first floor. I still have a couple little things to do, and I want to put a new laundry room in down there. The one that's there is kind of icky. So I'd like to kind of revamp that up. And that's just more like aesthetics, you know, maybe painting the walls and putting in some new flooring, right? It's just visual. But the second floor where the bedrooms are, they really need an overhaul. They need all new floors. Some walls need to come down. The point is, the reason why I've been working to get the house ready is because I know when his divorce is final, odds are he's going to move in with me. I need to get the house ready for myself, but I also need to get it ready for his arrival. I need to make sure there's adequate closet space for his clothes. I can't just wait for him to appear, for him to say, okay, the divorce is final. We now have an appointment next Wednesday at 12 o'clock. I guess I'm moving in next weekend. And now I have to scramble with 10 days notice. Do you know what I mean? Where the hell am I going to create closet space? So out of the blue, this is a Victorian home. Most of these rooms don't even have closets in them because they didn't have closets back then. They just had a simple wardrobe unit for a very simple lifestyle. It's not really the lifestyle we have these days, let's be honest. So a little tiny closet isn't going to do it for a grown man. And that's why I'm like trying to get the house ready. So whether it happens next week or 6 months from now, or if it, you know, takes a year from now, I'm ready and I'm not rushed. So there's something here about creating that plan for that goal, that dream. Stay focused on it. Do something small every day that gets you towards that. Learn something new, browse, get ideas, create a vision board. Buy something if you need to, or start renovating, like I have to do. There's something here about planning for the inevitable future that is coming, because it can come at a moment's notice and it will come when you don't see it. And there's something here about not being caught off guard when it happens. Okay. We have the King of Cups and the King of Swords, and we have the Four of Cups. Why is the Four of Cups here? Stay focused on the goal. Four of Cups, Two of Wands, 10 of Wands, 10 of Cups. Okay. This is going to be a little bit of a sidebar message here for someone watching. When it happens, and I don't know what that is, it is for all of you because it's a general collective reading. But when it happens and it's go time, you're going to have a decision to make. Do you stay where you're at, or do you move forward on this plan or path that you have? If you're not fully ready to move because you didn't really prepare, you're probably going to get stuck where you're at a little bit longer. So what do I mean by that? I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm speaking to a Sagittarius. You currently work for a corporation. I'm just using that as an example, okay? And you're noticing that they're starting to downsize. Okay, the cubicles around you, every day you're coming in, there's another cubicle now that's empty. The writing is on the wall that at any given moment, you can lose your job too. I'm not predicting anything, just an example. So there's something here about being able to look around and notice at any given day, I need to prepare for that. I either need to save money for that. I need to get my financial house in order. I need to get a resume ready. I need to get job references ready. I need to already start disseminating my resume or my application out there. I need to start going out on interviews. I need to start testing the waters. I need to prepare for the day I walk into work and they tell me I don't have a job. Okay? Because what could happen is if you don't prepare and then that day comes, then you're stuck at that Y point and you can't move forward towards the 10 of Cups in that moment. I'm not saying it'll never come, but you will be delayed in getting there because now you'll be stuck. You won't have the financial resources. Now you have to scramble, get a resume together. Instead, you could have been preparing from now for the inevitable end. I feel like this is an inevitable end. And I don't know what that is for you. The job is going to eventually end. The writing's on the wall, or it's a contract job, and you know that on this day or this month or year, it's over. Contract is up, and you're not guaranteed a renewal. Could be something like that. I could be speaking to a Sag where you're in a relationship, and you know it's just a matter of time before it ends. There'll be a divorce, or you're going your separate ways. It's just not working out. I don't know. Maybe your partner is ill. There's an inevitability feeling here of something is coming to an end. And I don't know exactly when. Like some of you know when, like if it's a contract job. But again, you don't really know because you don't know if it'll be renewed. But there's something here of, I don't want to say impending doom. It's an impending ending. And intuitively, you know this. You have the two most intuitive queens on the table, whether you're masculine or feminine, Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands. So you know this. You know inside something's going to change. And that's why it's so important for you to focus on where you're going in the future and to trust that that future is coming. And look at that. Remember Page of Pentacles? Knowledge. Get all the knowledge you need right now to prepare you for that future. What are you going to do for money? What are you going to do for a job? What's the pathway? Okay. It's planning for the inevitable end of one chapter of your life so you can be better prepared for the next, because there's a next chapter coming. Okay, next chapter coming, and you got to prepare. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck. And that 10 of Cups, that next chapter is going to be a little delayed here. And for some of you, I mean, it could be delayed by months, like 12 months here. So that would be a year. That's a big delay to go without work. That's a big delay to go not knowing where you're going to live. You know what I mean? That's a big delay. And so there's something here about preparing now to avoid the delay. Otherwise, 4 of Cups, you're sitting there like, oh my God, what the hell just happened? What do I do now? Where do I go now? What do I do? So this is super specific message for those of you where you know there's an ending coming. There's something here about being prepared. Don't get stuck in the rut there, okay? Let's get you 3 cards of advice. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Temperance, your energy, stay in your power, stay focused. You don't have to do it all today. Temperance is fire energy, but it's tempered fire energy, right? We can do a little at a time, get a little knowledge today, create a vision board tomorrow, start looking at whatever, investment CDs. Some of you might be getting a settlement. I don't know, settlement. That could be like a severance package. It could be alimony or maybe a bundled cash out, whether that's from inheritance, a divorce, maybe someone's passing away. It's like figuring out what you would do with the life insurance money if you're a beneficiary. But just acquiring the knowledge now, speaking to the financial advisors now, speaking to an attorney. It's just getting your papers in order, getting your house in order, and doing it, again, a little at a time. Not all tomorrow, not all today, but by next week, you should have done something towards it. I think that's the message for you. Yeah, the Magician, because it's going to be really hard to manifest the next chapter if you don't know where the hell you're going, if you're not planned for it. So use all 4 aces to create that next chapter exactly the way you want it, the Chariot. So when it's go time, when we're ready to go, we're ready to go. And even if we can't go that day, we can go very quickly as opposed to like waiting a year. Okay. And I think I told you in your last reading, like call in what you want, but be ready for it when it comes. I think that came through in that reading also. Like you have up to a year, you can defer that. I don't know why this keeps coming out for you. Like you can, I've never heard of deferring manifestation, but you know what? You're Sagittarius. So I'm not going to try to figure it out at this point. You have like a year on this. But you also have to, you can't just ask for it. You have to use all 4 aces to prepare for it or to create it. Okay, so taking that inspired action. Lovers, 9 of Wands, 4 of Swords. Yeah, because whatever happens here, it's a 3 of Swords moment to some degree. To some degree. You're saying goodbye to something. There's some heartbreak. There's some grief. But you can make the transition from 3 of Swords to 4 of Swords so much quicker by being prepared. It's a choice. It's a choice that you get to make now, how you utilize your time between now and then. Even if you don't know that then is coming, you know that it's coming. Your next chapter is within the next 12 months. Just prepare. Stay focused, stay grounded, and prepare. That's what I have for you, Saggy. I hope you like those messages. I hope they help you with whatever cycle or chapter is closing out here, or whatever new one you have upon you. But yeah, just stay focused. I think some of you are in the thick of it. You're in the thick of it, but it'll all change. What's behind that Three of Swords? The Eight of Cups, the heartbreak, the walking away, and then boom, I hate to laugh like that, but we're right into the new beginning. So I feel like when this comes, being prepared minimizes the hurt or the transition. And I don't know where you are on this timeline. Some of you could be a little further out. Some of you are a little further back. Either way, it's just telling you to prepare. If you're thinking one day that you're going to move to, I don't know, wherever, Portugal, Spain, prepare from now. Where do you want to live there? Start looking at the, regions of the world or the counties or provinces you want to move to. Just prepare, create a vision board, do all of your background research. You don't have to buy the house tomorrow, or lease the flat or apartment tomorrow, but stay focused on the goal and prepare and trust that you will eventually get there. But this is the perfect time to acquire knowledge. And actually with these two Virgo moons, we have that new moon in Virgo on the 22nd, and then we have a new moon in Virgo again on September 21st. High vibing Virgo is all about systems and plans and strategy. And this is the time for you to stay grounded, Virgo's earth energy, stay focused, and create the systems and plans that you need to get you to where you need to be or want to be. That's what I have for you, Saggy. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, please be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. And until I read for you again, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace. Hello, Capricorn. Let's see what message we have for you today. Tapping into the Capricorn collective now. What message do you have for Capricorn at this time? Make sure the mic is still on. It is, okay. For Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. Remember to check out your other placements. There might be some messages in there for you as well. Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. And especially look to those other placements if the message that comes through today does not resonate with you at all. Don't force it to fit if it doesn't. What does Capricorn need to know at this time? Thank you. That was quick. We have protection. So you're being protected at this time. Bottom of the deck, we have grounded, and right behind that, we have magic. So I feel like as long as you remain grounded, which should be easy for you to do, it's card number 1, card number 22, you are an earth sign. There's something here about being grounded. Your manifestation is being protected. Something that you want is being protected at this time. Some goals, some wish, some dreams, some plan that you have. Tell me more about this here for Capricorn. Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. This is, I know it's not the Wheel of Fortune card, but it's giving me that idea of it. Like something is happening in divine timing. Might not be happening in your timing. Just saw the Death card. So something is happening. Your life is transforming. Just might not be happening as quickly as you want it to be. You are a cardinal earth sign. So when you want to take action on something and you have that goal, you're trying to achieve it, and the message for you today is like, don't give up on it just because you're not seeing the results right away. Let's get one more shuffle here for Cappy. Thank you. We have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like hold on to that dream or that goal. This is very earth energy. So hold on to that. Ace of Pentacles. That's exactly what this person is holding in the Four of Pentacles. So it's like hold on to that dream, that goal, that wish, that plan that you have. Ace of Wands. 2 of the 4 aces. And then the King of Pentacles, which is still holding on to that ace. So still hold on to this new beginning, this wish, this goal. If you want to start your own business or re-enter the dating pool, maybe like you're not finding the one or the person, this is telling you not to give up on it. Bottom of the deck, 5 of Wands, the Chariot, and the Queen of Swords. Keep your eye on the prize here. Like victory is yours. There might be some chaos or confusion, or maybe you're even having some internal discussions with yourself saying, oh, it's just not going to happen. I feel like victory and success is yours. Yeah, keep your eye on the prize here. Tell me about the Ace of Pentacles here. Tell me about the Ace of Pentacles. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Ace of Pentacles, clarified by the 5 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles. So this is a little bit of an odd message, but there's something here. King of Swords, that's the bottom of the deck. So there's something here about finding other things to do with your time while you're waiting for this. So, best example I could give you, I launched this channel on YouTube on April 6, 2024. 30 days rolled by. There was no source of income, right? There was nothing being generated. Second month went by, third month, fourth month. I was like, I don't know, because as much as this is my spiritual calling, I also need to feed myself and pay my bills. And there was something here about maybe I need to learn how to do it differently, or use the time to hone in on the craft, learn something here. So there's definitely something here about making good use of your time while you're waiting. Don't give up on the goal or the dream, but maybe there's a different way for you to achieve it. There's something here about like, don't get stuck in this Five of Cups energy of I'm just not seeing the results materialize quick enough, and then falling into some kind of like depression or talking yourself out of it, or there's something. Look at all the earth energy here. It's like, no, just stay grounded and find something else to do with your time, or find a new way on how to do it so you can still achieve the result you want. Yeah, keep your eye on the prize here. The Ace of Wands. Tell me about the Ace of Wands here. Tell me about the Ace of Wands here for Capricorn. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Make good use of your time right now. Page of Swords. Again, this is another page of learning, acquisition, information. Is there something you're doing in your life that you can do differently, or you could tweak, or you could do more efficiently? Can you incorporate AI into it? And this could be anything. This could, I don't want to say as simple, but this could be like a diet plan. You have a goal of losing 20 pounds and you now lost 10. This is not saying give up on losing the last 10, but is there something here that you could learn how to do a little differently so you can still achieve that goal? So it's like, don't lose sight of the goal or the dream. So kind of split message here for you. Either you need to learn how to do it, or should learn, right? You don't need to do anything. You have the divine gift of free will. Either learn how to do it more effectively or more efficiently, or while you're waiting for this, find something else beneficial to it that you can do in the meantime. Like example would be, you've made an offer on a home and the buyer has approved it, right? They have accepted it. Well, now you have to wait for the mortgage company, right? They need to get, well, what can you do in the meantime instead of just kind of waiting there, looking at your watch, waiting to hear back from the mortgage company? Do you need to get an attorney that can handle the closing? Do you need to get an inspector? Do you already want, and you should already start planning on the movers that you're going to use, or do you need to sell your property? So it's a little bit of a split message. So take the ones that resonate to you. Either you need to learn how to do something more efficiently, more effectively, or you need to find other things to do in your time to prepare you for that goal or that dream while you're waiting for it to materialize. Okay, yeah, Two of Wands. You're at the Y point here. So there's more here to learn, or more here to do, or a better use of your time while you're waiting. Judgment call. So I feel like if you listen to your intuition, because judgment is all about listening to our intuition and doing what is best for us and doing what is best for all involved. So I think if you go within, you get this answer. You figure this out, either how to learn how to do it better, or like I said, quicker or more efficiently, or a better use of your time to prepare for the inevitable manifestation here, which is protected to literally become a reality. King of Pentacles. Okay, the Ten of Pentacles. Look at all of the earth energy here. This is huge. So hold on to that goal or that dream, because that ace, all aces have the potential to get to the tens. That Ace of Pentacles this is telling you, it will turn into the Ten of Pentacles. But you either have to do something differently or prepare for it, or utilize your time better while you're waiting for it to materialize. You then have the Nine of Swords. So get out of your head with the it's never going to happen. It's going to happen. But it can either come in sooner because you'll do things differently, or you can make better use of your time. Four Swords. So I kind of feel like this is a little bit of a wound here in the Capricorn collective, because high vibing Capricorn is you put you set your mind on this goal, and you work very you're very dedicated to working on, and you're very dedicated to achieving the goal. I love high vibing Capricorns. I know a few. Jennifer, if you're watching, hi. I know some really wonderful high vibing Capricorns, but a low vibing Capricorn could also fall into it's not happening fast enough. I always said if you weren't an earth sign, you would be a fire sign. So maybe there's a wound here that you need to heal about patience, because I do think you're the least patient of the earth signs. And I'm not saying that, in an offensive way. I think you know that. Most of you probably know that already. So there's something here about healing that wound. And that's why I think we have so much earth energy here. It's almost like needing to um, lean into a little bit into like your sister brother sign of Taurus there, being that fixed energy, a little bit more grounded energy here, and getting out of your head of it's not happening fast enough. Okay. Chariot. Tell me about the Chariot. Because I feel like when it comes in, you're just like, then it's like, oh my God, it's happening so soon. But it's like, but you had all this time to prepare. You had all this time to prepare for it. Tell me about the Chariot here. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Chariot. High Priestess. The Hermit. Oh my God. And the Eight of Cups. Your Nine of Cups, again, whatever this manifestation is, I know it feels like it's taking forever, right? Because earth energy is the slowest of the four in tarot. And then the cup energy is the second slowest. But before you know it, it's here. We go right to the Chariot. There's almost like no in between. And I think that's why it's important here. Either once you learn how to do it differently, it'll come in quicker and you're going to be like, oh my God, I thought it would take me 6 months to lose the weight, and it's happened in 4 weeks or 6 weeks. So if you learn how to do it differently, you get to that Nine of Cups a lot quicker, or the Nine of Cups comes in quicker because you made better use of your time and you're more prepared now for it when it comes in. Nine of Wands, Six of Cups, and the Emperor. Yeah, you're doing something here over and over again, and it's either like ruminating in your mind that it's never going to come, or you're doing something over and over again that you could be doing more effectively or maybe even more efficiently. I also want to say that grounded card, I know it says grounded, but because of the blue and it's an anchor, I think some of you feel like you're right behind that is magic. I think some of you feel like your manifestation is stuck, like an anchor, like it's not moving, but it is moving. Like it is moving towards you or you're moving towards it, even if you can't see it. Even if you feel like the anchor's down and it's not coming or you're not moving towards it, it is. When a boat, I don't know why I'm being told this, but like when a boat throws its anchor overboard, the ocean is still moving. The current is still moving. This is all still moving under the surface. You just might feel like you're sitting still. You're not. And that's why I think there's maybe a better use of time here that you could probably benefit from, either to prepare for it or just learning new things. It's just making better use of your time while you're waiting for this to come in. And for others of you, you do need to learn how to do something differently so it can come in quicker. All right, another pretty fast message there for the Capricorn collective. I keep saying it, y'all would be a fire sign if you weren't an earth sign. 3 cards here of advice for my Cappies. One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Lovers. It's a choice. It's a choice to do things over and over again the same way, or learn how to modify, update them, simplify them, or like I said, maybe even incorporate new technology. Nine of Wands. I was just saying it's the pattern. It's a cyclical pattern. And same thing for those of you who are like, you're waiting for something. You're waiting for the person. You're waiting for the job. The job to start. Like maybe you were accepted for the job and, you were offered a job and you accepted it. But maybe now, I don't know, you have to wait 1 or 2 weeks or 4 weeks before you can start. It's like, don't just sit around waiting for the person, place, or thing. You have a choice, a decision here to make. How are you going to I was going to say waste. Yeah, some of you are just wasting your time waiting when you could be making, thank you for tripping me up there. You could be making better use of your time while you're waiting. Yeah, Ace of Cups. Pour into yourself. This is like a huge moment here, act of self-love here for you. The World card, I'm telling you, this new chapter is coming in quickly. Either learn how to do things differently so you can get there faster, or make better use of your time while you wait. Start doing some nicer things for yourself. That's an option there. Like if you have 2, 3, 4 weeks before blank begins, make better use of that time, because I think when it arrives, whatever it is for you, life moves very quickly. You go from Pentacle and Cup energy to the Chariot. We're not even touching the swords here or the wands. I mean, it literally goes to the fastest card in the deck. So there's definitely something here about taking time out for you. For those of you where you're waiting, yeah, just stay grounded and do some nice things for yourself. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, and the King of Cups to the Four of Wands. Like, victory is yours. Like, the new beginning is here. Death card. Your life is transforming. But look at that Knight of Pentacles. Look at that. Knight of Pentacles to the Magician. While you're waiting, make better use of your of your time. So you don't just feel like this person in the Five of Pentacles, like, when is it coming? When is it coming? You could either nurture this dream better by learning something new, kind of like the Queen of Pentacles here is cradling a baby. You can learn how to do it so it comes in a lot quicker, or make better use of your time while you're waiting for it. That's what I have for you, Capricorn. That's the message that Source wants you to know at this time. If it resonated, yeah, if it resonated with you, I don't know what's happening to me right now. We're out of the retrograde for Mercury, but we are in post shadow, so forgive me for stumbling during your reading. I've also been doing this now for almost 3 hours. So if you like those messages, they've resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, please be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. And until I read for you again, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace. Hello, Aquarius. Hope you're doing well today. Let's take a look at the message that Spirit wants you to know at this time. I just saw the jealousy card. What does Aquarius need to know at this time? Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. Also, make sure you check out your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus, just to see if there are other messages in those placements for you. And especially check them out. If this message does not resonate with your journey at this time, do not force it to fit. Tapping into the Aquarius collective now for Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What do they need to know at this time? What is the message for the Aquarius collective? Let's get one more shuffle here. Thank you. What do you need to know, my darling? Safe travel. Card number 30. Bottom of the deck, shift. Your life is shifting. Your life is shifting. Death. Your life is shifting. Doesn't mean you're dying. Please don't take it that way. Your life is transforming. Safe travels. Just saw the death card while I was shuffling. I don't know if the camera caught that, if any of you saw that. So your life is shifting and changing. This is like shift or be shifted. Get ready. Ready or not, here it comes. Tell me more about this here for Aquarius. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. What do they need to know about safe travel and shift? I just heard tying up loose ends. Need to tie up some loose ends. Someone needs to hear that. Card number 30 and card number 9. So we're nearing the ending. We're moving towards a shift here. One more shuffle here. Thank you. First card out, my dear. The Hanged Man. The Six of Cups. The Eight of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Five of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, Hangman. What does Aquarius need to see from a different perspective? What do they need to see from a different perspective? Just saw the Devil card. Could be a Capricorn that you're dealing with. Doesn't have to be. Tell me more about this. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Devil, the Seven of Swords. It's the worst combination in tarot if we get the Magician. Page of Cups. You're being tempted. Bottom of the deck, the Lovers. You're being tempted. Lovers, Two of Cups, Four Swords. Someone is manipulating you here through words. There's a need here for you to see it from a different perspective. It's a soulmate, soul bond connection here in your life. Regardless of the length of time that you've known this person is using words to manipulate you for their gain. This is emotional manipulation. This is verbal manipulation. This is someone giving you a little bit, but giving it to you in a way that they know you'll see it as a more grandiose gesture. This is someone promising you a daydream that will never become reality. It's not rooted in reality. Devil to the Seven of Swords is highly toxic energy. And there's a need for you to see that. Someone's telling you everything they think you need to hear based on what they feel you believe in. Yeah. Tell me more about this person who's doing this to Aquarius. Someone's telling you everything you need to hear so you go along with the plan, so you don't leave them. There's a need here for you to see this as manipulation, emotional manipulation, verbal manipulation. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Yeah, I just noticed the pig flying. It's like, yeah, when pigs fly, that's the reality. This is never coming to fruition, or not the way they're telling you it will. Yeah, when pigs fly. Tell me more about this person. Nine of Pentacles. This could be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Three of Swords. This is someone, Justice. Bottom of the deck, the Empress. Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Wands. This is someone who doesn't want you to break away from them or leave them. This is someone who is carefully crafting their words to get you to go along with them or to stay with them. Give me three more on this person. Someone's selling you a dream that is not rooted in reality. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Nine of Cups. This is for their own pleasure, their own gain. The Knight of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. Bottom of the deck, Strength. Someone's doing this for their benefit. They're verbally manipulating you because they want to get something out of you. It would not benefit you. And they know that if you saw the truth of that, you would want nothing to do with them, or you wouldn't go along with it. So they're sweetening the pot by telling you what you want to hear, so you move forward with them or you stay with them. Very, very verbal manipulation here. Strength, Ten of Swords, Four of Wands. Yeah, they don't want you leaving them or leaving them behind or doing something differently. They would rather betray you to get you to go along with what they want than have you move, shift in the direction you want to move in. This is like the job you give notice to, and they're promising you the world to stay. You're going to get a raise, you're going to get a promotion, you're going to get your own desk or your own office. You're not getting shit. They don't have the intent, their intention is not to give you shit, it's to sell you on a pipe dream. So you stay, so you go along with it. So they get your vote. I don't know what that means. Someone had to hear that. They get your vote. They get your say. They get your support. They get your love. You know, what it is different for all of you. You're not being told the truth here purposefully. It's not like, oops, they spoke out of turn or they didn't mean it. No, this is, I know I'm going to deceive Aquarius to get something from Aquarius that I want because it would benefit me, not them. So it's a soulmate, soul bond connection. But with that Devil to the Seven of Swords, this is a karmic one. This is not like a twin flame, soulmate. It's beneficial to you in the sense that you need to learn this lesson so you can move away or move on or go in a different direction, shift, go in a different direction than this person. Yeah, Death card, put an end to whatever this is and move on from it. Eight of Pentacles. This person works at this, like trying to figure out ways how to con you. How to con you. Con you out of money, con you out of time, con you into going along with them, giving them what they want, making you think you'll get what you want. This is almost like talking you into something, hoping you're like, wow, I had a wonderful idea. Meanwhile, it wasn't your idea at all. It was theirs. They just somehow manipulated you into you thinking it was your idea. Eight of Pentacles here. One more shuffle. Thank you. I'm an Aquarius rising. I don't really like this message, but clearly we need to hear it. Two of Swords, because we are not seeing it for ourselves. We're not seeing it. We are blindfolded and trusting the wrong person. Eight of Swords, blindfolded again. 8 swords plus 2 is 10 swords. This is betrayal. This is deception. This person is actively doing, oh my God. Didn't I say the Magician would be the worst card? This is knowingly deceiving you. Knowingly telling you everything they think you want to hear. This is very heavy on the air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and very heavy on the earth sign and Sagittarius. Fool, new beginning. You need to escape this chaos and conflict and confusion here. Page of Pentacles. Tell me about the Page of Pentacles here. They've been doing this a long time to you. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Ace of Cups, and that's the truth. This person or group of people have been deceiving you knowingly for a long time. Whenever I say something and I see an ace, there are only 4 in the deck. That tells me I am spot on this message. Ace of Cups, Knight of Wands. This person is inconsistent. They have no intent on fulfilling this wish, this promise that they're making to you. Three of Pentacles. Yeah, we'll work it out. Yeah, we'll work together. This is like someone who befriends you to get your idea, to steal your idea. Yeah, to steal your idea. There's a snake here in the Seven of Cups. To steal your idea. Five of Pentacles, Emperor, Knight of Pentacles. There's a need here for you to see this person or these people for who and what they are. Take control and ownership of your life and walk away from them. Abandon them. Five of Pentacles. Tell me about the Five of Pentacles here. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Queen of Wands. That's your victory. Queen of Cups. Eight of Wands. Move on. Yeah, Lovers. Page of Swords. Eight of Cups. Make the choice to move on and find happiness in another relationship or another situation or another environment, or even if you're just on your own. These are the two most intuitive queens in tarot. Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands. If this message is resonating for you, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. You already know the deception here. Your gut has been telling you this for a while. Knight of Pentacles is Virgo energy. We have a new moon in Virgo on August 22nd and another one on August 22nd and another new moon in Virgo, back to back this time around, September 21st. The one on September 21st is actually an eclipse. I feel like between now and then, you need to create some type of system or plan to eclipse, walk away from whomever or whatever this is. Knight of Pentacles. Like finding another job or another place to live or closing out this connection, going in a new direction, shift in a new direction. Your path, once you shift, is protected. Safe travel is protected. So don't be afraid to shift. Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles here. One more shuffle. Thank you. Judgment. If you really listen to your intuition, you know everything I'm saying here is true. King of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Some of you are resisting, moving on, or not going along with it. Six of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, the World. You're delaying closing this out for some reason. So it's like even after, and maybe this message is the one that gives you that aha epiphany moment. I knew that was too good to be true. Or I knew that sounded too good. And then you do the work and you go within and you're like, yep, it's true. There's still something here you're holding on to, moving on or speaking out about it. Why is Aquarius holding back? So even within the next 4 weeks that you figure all this out, you're still very slow to move forward. Why is that? One more shuffle here. Thank you. This looks like a snake here too. Even though it's a dog's leg, but or the tail. It's just the way it's shaped. Even her hair here looks like a snake. So even once you see this person or these people for who and what they are, you're still resisting moving on from them. Why? One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Tower. Shift or be shifted. I think I said that in the beginning. Even if you try to hold on to this, whatever it is, it's going to fall apart. Tower. Seven of Wands. But you're protected. Remember, safe travel. King of Swords. There you are. So you're protected. This is going to collapse. The job, the situation, the person. And I'm not wishing bad on them. I'm just, their plan's going to fall through. Even if you try holding on or believing or holding on to the dream, something like that, or it'll all work out in time. It's not going to work out in time. But you are being protected. That's why it's not going to work out in time. You're being protected from the fallout, from the blowback, I'm being told. But it's also not working out because you're being protected. Let me get 3 more cards here to close out your message. It's not working out because you're being protected from this person. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Closing messages. Queen of Swords, Six of Pentacles, and Six of Swords, Ace of Wands. So you will move on in time from this person, place, or thing. If you don't release, and then, in that eclipse that we're having on September 21st, the new moon in Virgo eclipse, then it won't be long after that that you will be cutting the cord here, or moving on, or moving in a different direction, or making a different decision. Because, and again, I'm not one of the tarot readers that tries to scare people. I'm really not. But I feel like if you try holding on, a tower moment happens. And even though you might still a little be, trying to cling, I still see you within 6 weeks of that tower moving on. It's just for some reason you're delaying moving on. One card on the delay. I feel like it's fear. Fear to find another job. Could be financial concerns. One more shuffle here. What's the fear? Knight of Cups and the Star. So you really wanted this to work out, this relationship, this situation, this job, this friendship. You really wanted it to work out. I hate to be the one to tell you it's not going to work out. You're meant to be somewhere else, or on another path, or doing something differently than these people. That's what I have for you, Aquarius. I don't know what it is you're holding on to, but I feel like the universe, if you don't shift, the universe will shift you in a different direction by like exposing the lies or the manipulation, really getting you to a point that like once you see it, you can't unsee it, type of thing. So I think you're protected. I don't think like any harm is coming to you, but that's like a twofold message there. One, you're being protected because you think this is wish fulfillment, and it's really not. You're meant to be in a better situation, environment, or connection. And also, when the tower occurs, I don't think anything bad's going to happen to you. I think it's more like visually. We have the Queen and King of Swords. They see things very clearly. So I think that's what happens here. It's like once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. That's what I have for you, my dear, at this time. Your journey in this chapter of your life is being protected. You have the safe travels card here, but I do see you kind of being forced to shift in another direction, but you're meant to go in a different direction. So that is what I have for you, my dear, at this time. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, please be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out your other placements. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace. Hello, Pisces. Let's see what message Spirit has for you today. What would you like Pisces to know at this time? Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. What is the message for Pisces at this time? Before I shuffle your cards, let me plug that in before it stops recording on you. And we're back. Okay. So tapping into the Pisces collective now. Make sure you check out your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus, so you can see if there are other messages in those other placements for you, and definitely check them out. If this message does not resonate with you at all, don't force it to fit. Message for Pisces at this time. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Message, or receiving a message. Card number 33. Bottom of the deck, we have Divine Masculine, and then we have Karmic Path. Okay, so you have a karmic lesson here wrapping up in your life. Some chapter, some message coming in. It might require you, we all have feminine, masculine energy within us. It might require you, regardless of what you are or who you are, to lean into your divine masculine energy. Because there's something here coming to an end or a conclusion. You're receiving a message, information here. There'll be a need here for you to step into your divine masculine. Tell me more about this here so you can take action. Tell me more about this here for Pisces. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Sun. The Two of Cups. Temperance. Ace of Cups. Bottom of the deck, the Magician. Seven of Cups. Ten of Swords. It's like you have a new beginning back to back with an ending. Like I could be speaking to a group of Pisces. You have one connection ending, and you immediately have another connection here. Like a friendship is ending, you have a new friend. Loveship is ending, you have another lover. They're like almost back to back. All right, let's see what we can find out. You've got a message coming in. Ten of Pentacles. Okay. Tell me about the Sun card here. Tell me about the Sun card here. Yeah, you got a new beginning. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Tell me about the Sun card here. One more shuffle. Thank you. King of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Ten of Cups. Whoa, look where you're headed. So I just want to tell you, if you're receiving a message or communication that something is wrapping up in your life, and I'm not giving you predictions at this point, I'm just giving you examples. I don't know, you go to work tomorrow and they tell you in 2 weeks they're outsourcing your job, or 4 weeks they're outsourcing your job. There's a better job coming in. Again, there's some new beginning after some other beginning is ending. So something is ending and you have something new coming in. It's literally almost back to back. I almost feel like, don't feel so bad about this, even though this is terrible. This is also the sun in Gemini, which we have right here, sun to the King of Swords. Technically Aquarian energy, but it is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So we've got the sun in Gemini here. So there's something, and we've got the Magician on the table. So this had to happen so this can come in. Two of Cups. Tell me about the Two of Cups here. One more shuffle. Thank you. Six of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Hierophant. If you have a connection ending, even if it's like a divorce, you have another soulmate on path here very quickly coming in that can lead to long-term commitment. Temperance. Why is Temperance here? Why is Temperance here? Archangel Michael is bringing this soulmate in, whether they're professional, platonic, or romantic. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Three of Cups, Ace of Wands, King of Pentacles. This is coming in quite quickly. Within 3 months, I'll get timing for you. This is coming in quickly. New beginning here. I almost feel, whether you realize it or not, you manifested this ending. The ending to this relationship, this job. At some point, you're like, oh God, bring me a better job. Oh God, I can't live here anymore. You manifested this. You manifested options and choices, and you manifested an ending, and you manifested a new beginning. A new friend, a new lover, a new business partner. I don't know who this is for you. You manifested this in. It's coming in. But this now needs to close out. Ace of Cups. Tell me about the Ace of Cups here. One more shuffle. Thank you. Five of Cups. Two of Wands. Seven of Wands. Some of you may resist this new person. You might feel like, whoa, this is too soon. You might be resisting this because you still have some emotions about what happened here, but you're still crying over the loss of this connection or this job. But right behind you is Two Cups. I'm telling you, it's coming in fast. The new business partner, the new romantic partner. Hermit, Five of Swords, Six of Wands, World card. I mean, you have a new beginning before one's even fully closing out here. What's closing out? What is this Ten of Swords? What is this Ten of Swords? Eight of Swords. Something you've been worried about for a long time. Something you've been undecided about. And I think for some of you, you couldn't see this ending. Like maybe it took a long time to get here, or you were confused if it was ever going to happen. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Fool. There's your new beginning. Queen of Cups. It's like you're free now. The Moon. I don't think you see this coming. We have the Moon, the Three of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. This is happening quick. We have a new moon in Virgo on August 22nd. And then we have another new moon in Virgo, which actually is an eclipse on September 21st. And in between that is a full moon in Pisces on September 7th, which is also an eclipse. It's out with the old and in with the new, and it's coming in quickly. It is coming in quickly. Advice for you on this. I don't know. I don't know where to go with this message, to be honest with you. It's out with the old and in with the new, and it's happening so fast. What is this message? It's like you get a message that this is over, and then this comes in. What is this message? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Four of Pentacles. Four of Cups. The Tower. It comes in when you're not, World card. I hate to chuckle like that, but when you're not paying attention, when you're trying to restabilize yourself from that ending, when you're healing your heart and grieving the loss of that connection, boom, you're receiving a message. The new person's here. The new job is here. The new beginning is here. World to the moon again. I would look at those dates, August 22nd, September 7th, and September 21st. Star card. And then you're on your way towards wish fulfillment. So again, that feeling of back to back. Tell me the Tower. Let's just get 3 on that Tower for you. One more shuffle here. Thank you. So I feel like the purpose of this message is, one, to tell you the ending is coming. Whatever this has been for you, you've wanted it over for some time. Some of you never thought it would be over. You thought it would drag on forever. So if that message is resonating, this is telling you you're going to be free of this. You'll be free and able to move in a new direction. So the ending is coming quickly. That's for those of you where, like, you know that the ending is coming. It's just been taken forever. For others of you, this is letting you know whatever ends now, as troubled as you may be by it or sad as you may be by it, just know you have something new immediately coming in. I mean, immediately. So God forbid you lose your job. Again, not a prediction. It's like as soon as you get out there, boom, another job comes in. Because a career and finance 3, the Hierophant, would be another job. So if something ends up suddenly, you receive a message and, I don't know, your spouse files for divorce, or the job gives you your walking papers. I know it's sad. I know it's tragic. I know it's hard. But boy, do you have a new beginning coming in very quickly. Quicker than you would have imagined. 3 cards on that Tower. And then we will officially close out the message. One more shuffle here. Thank you. 7 of Swords. Death. 8 of Cups. The Tower is, that is over. That is over. The marriage, the relationship, the job, the grief, the trauma, you know, whatever it is here that you've been experiencing, dealing with lies or deception or someone betraying you. This is a radical end here. So something more divine can come in for you. Lovers, 9 of Cups, 5 of Wands. Don't fight it. Ace of Swords. I think you're going to be internally conflicted because this is such a quick change for you, but it comes in very quickly, and it is wish fulfillment. You have the divine gift of free will. You get to make a choice. You know, you get to choose if you want to move in this direction. But I think after some internal dialogue here, you decide, Ace of Swords, that it's time for you to like move on. And I do see you doing that, because at the end of the day, this, whatever beautifulness this is, you manifested it. But sometimes when we manifest something new to come in, it means something old has to leave. Either we need to create physical space for the new or energetic space. So in manifesting the new, you kind of also manifested the ending, whether you realized it or not, whether it was conscious or subconscious. So a message is coming in. Something is ending. I feel like the message here is like, fret not, whether you knew it was coming or you didn't know, because the new beginning is here, and it's beautiful. It really is. So I feel like it's a little heads up for those of you where you didn't know if something was ending. I feel like those troubles are coming to an end, and you can move forward in your life on a more peaceful path. And then for others of you, this could be a bit abrupt. Again, loss of a job, something like that. And although it might be difficult, and it might require you to lean into your masculine energy to kind of like get up and go type of thing, like a more Emperor energy, Aries, like, okay, now I have to take action on my own behalf. But it was a karmic lesson. It was a karmic cycle. It had to close out. It's being closed out. Either you know that it's closing or you don't, but either way, it's closing out. I feel like the universe has influence here. They had to step in and like close this out for you so you can move forward. But it all begins with a message that you're receiving in or around the energy of either new moon in Virgo, August 22nd, full moon in your sign, Pisces, September 7th, or new moon in Virgo, again, which is an eclipse on September 21st. That is what I have for you, Pisces. If you like those messages, you want to claim all or part of them, maybe just found them to be helpful, please be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. And until I read for you again, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace.